All right. Hello. Oh, am I not showing up? Uh-oh. Why am I not showing? Oh, there I am. Hey, everybody. I'm Joe. I'm the BizarreStar. I'm the Cult Detective Hunter and Final Guy. And, well, I'm going to play Nocturne later, but, yeah. Funny, I was kind of looking around on my channel a little bit and kind of just looking at views and whatnot and like what got more popular, and more just I kind of noticed that a lot of my stuff, like my most highest rated stuff, is kind of my more reactionary stuff, or at least talking about news. I kind of teetered away from that mostly because I don't care about a lot of this stuff, but I figured I want to at least try to look into this. I honestly, I just kind of kept just kind of stepping away from a lot of it stuff, but I want to try to maybe talk a little bit more about the just reaction maybe to some certain like videos and like stuff that's going on around the world, around online. Not really like political stuff. I kind of really don't care about that, but at least in terms of video games, that's really what I kind of want to keep going on. I like some of my highest ones were like about well, the highest one is like about Kirsha, but that's beside the point. My other ones, I think one of them was with I was talking about the Dead by Daylight actress who played, what was it, I forgot, the Unknown, how she kind of made a big stink about the trans stuff. Another one was about like Nintendo like taking down that Yuzu emulator and whatnot. They got some pretty good views, and like I'm still gonna obviously play video games, but I guess I really do want to try to maybe at least try to look into some more news and like reaction stuff. Like we have some like preview of Resident Evil 9 and something that one guy that was talking about Silent Hill. I kind of want to look into that, but yeah, I didn't really follow much on Metroid Prime 4. I looked at like the what's his face, that one guy, he was talking like a jackass. It wasn't, and that was like this one soldier lady who was kind of really kind of fangirling over Samus. It didn't really bother me one way or the other, but it seems to really irk a lot of people. And then you got the Nintendo fans who are irked that the other people are irked. But anyway, let's watch from side scrollers, because I haven't really watched it this week. Usually I only watch it at work, and since I've been on vacation, I haven't really been watching it all that much. So yeah, let's go.
So the big news over the last couple days has been the response to Metroid Prime 4. And look, this has been a game that for some people has been 18 years in the making. Long ass time, spread over multiple console generations. I mean, what were you doing 18 years ago? Like, when was that?
I don't even know what I was.
You were probably doing fentanyl flog.
I was 18.
Oh, sorry.
I was doing Adderall.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, think about whatever you were doing 18 years ago, and now that thing has been released, and whatever it is. So Metroid Prime 4 is out, and the response has been pretty okay. A lot of people, it's like averaging like a 7.5 or an 8, right?
I'm not the biggest Metroid fan. I've honestly, I like Super Metroid enough, but it was never like my go-to series. I liked Prime. That's probably my favorite in the series. Dread was really good, but I've never been the biggest Metroid fan. So maybe that's why I'm not super bothered by one way or the other. Then again, I also don't have this massive searing hatred for Nintendo like a lot of people here, or a massive fanboy for them.
Which, when something is released after 18 years of development and been scrapped so many times and rewritten and all this stuff, naturally you're not going to make everybody happy, and the best you can do is hopefully.
That's pretty much all I learned from. The only thing I knew that Samus was a girl, and I didn't, not from Smash Brothers, but mostly because my friend had Super Metroid, and he's like, oh yeah, he's a girl. Like, watch when she dies. It's like, oh, okay.
It feels as close
cool
to 1 through 3 as it possibly could. And one of the big things in the new Metroid Prime game is the addition of a motorcycle or a motorbike that you get around town in. And when I say get around town, I mean a giant fucking desert here. Now, this is Andre, who is the founder of Game Explain, who is a pretty big YouTube channel here. And he says, I genuinely think about the desert would have been about 3 times better if they put some banging music behind it. It just feels so vapid. So
all right, let's see.
Think of this like the giant field in Ocarina of Time that's kind of like your centralized hub that you move from place to place in, right? That's kind of the premise here. But let's get a little bit of gameplay to give an example of this.
Right? kind of boring, but yeah. What's this at? Like resolution? Hold on.
Video games, am I right?
1080.
So
music.
Glad you brought that up. And that was the initial point of this tweet, was that, hey man, this would be really great if there was some music behind it. It just kind of feels empty.
Oh, I think I heard about this.
Get it. It's a desert, right? It's might supposed to feel that way, but it was pointed out that
I don't really no. I mean, even Tears of the Kingdom, or like what's it called, Breath of the Wilds, even had some music. It was like soft, but it was music.
There's actually a collectible Samus amiibo that, if you buy this Samus amiibo, you get to play and select music while driving around in said desert.
Wow.
Paywalled.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's fucking disgusting. So, okay. From what I understand, I saw this on a tweet just like a few hours ago. Apparently, you can get that music, but only if you 100% the game. Which is actually even more stupid, because I'm probably gonna be playing the game again if I 100% it. What's the fucking point? That's so dumb.
In other words, they locked music.
And these amiibos aren't even like, they used to be like maybe $16. Now they're almost 30.
While riding around a desert behind a paywall. Now,
That's crazy.
how much do you think that amiibo is?
Well, I said like 30. No.
Okay.
Amiibos are getting expensive now. So
Yeah.
I think
I only have one.
it's like 20. I would say at least $25.
Yeah. Kay, you're an amiibo expert, right?
Mm.
A little bit. I used to collect a lot of them. I could tell you the price. I'm pretty sure I know.
Well, go ahead.
I think it's probably like $30, I guess.
Correct.
Nuts. For some background music.
$29.99.
There we go.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Oh my
Some
God.
Background music.
Yes.
I don't think they even changed size. I think like the Street Fighter ones were like the larger, or a bit larger, but no, I'm not paying $30 for this, even if it's just a toy.
$29.99 for you to get
The only
that
modern
right
game
here.
I
And
100%
that's
it was
pointed
Amnesia
out
the
by
Bunker.
many people that look.
Hmm.
This is Nintendo doing what Nintendo does, and
Then again, that was for
it's one of
achievements.
those things that you don't really
Right.
think about until it's actually thought about, and you say, "Oh, wait, so the music that's already on the game, I gotta pay."
And this game's already like what, $70 now? Probably 80. I wouldn't be surprised. So on top of that, you're almost paying $100 for a complete experience. Oh my God, that's so stupid.
$30 to get, right? I
It's a
gotta.
bold strategy.
Well, we'll see how it works. But one thing that's interesting is this was pointed out by a lot of people. It says Xbox or PlayStation would have faced a shitstorm for this. Only Nintendo can paywall in-game music for $30 and get away with it.
To be fair, I don't like if any of them done it. I would have called them both out. I just think it's really fucking retarded.
And
That's
this dude,
wild.
they're not wrong.
True.
They're not wrong. Not
No,
wrong here.
you're doing it. It's just the typical suspects who do it. It's always hard to tell when something's a bigger deal. No, I don't necessarily agree with that. You just have the usual suspects, the usual Nintendo. Wait, even then it was for fun. And that's what a game should be, for fun. But it's always hard to really take a lot of, well, there is like, obviously, there's a lot of criticisms with Nintendo. I've seen so many. I mean, it's amazing that people are so shocked now that they're like as bad as they are. I mean, go to the 1990s when they were literally throttling third parties from even going into to even make, did dare have go make games for like Sega or any other competitor. How they tried to sue Blockbuster for rentals and whatnot. It's like they've always been this kind of scummy. It's just people never really noticed it. So it's always really difficult to really kind of take a lot of big criticism toward Nintendo all that serious, when half the time it's just a bunch of menial crap. You got to really shove the bullshit. You really got to look through the bullshit. But like this is really fucking stupid that they're charging $30 for essentially music. I don't know. You probably get some maybe items and shit for whatever, for all I fucking know. But $30 for music in an area I'm guessing you're going to spend a lot of time in because that's just how you travel, I guess, which they all kind of get their criticism. It's just a matter of who goes after what.
So yeah, you got your $30 amiibo here, which, you know, hey, if you're up for it, you can go out and grab it.
No.
And get your background music while making your way around the desert right there.
Not even gonna.
This was pointed out by.
No.
This is not the first time this has happened. As this is Beat 'em Up Woods over on X.
Oh yeah, he hates you.
Here's about the Loftwing amiibo and the Skyward Sword HD and Skyward Sword HD. Nintendo's done things like this before, where they put music or.
I don't know that one, but I believe it.
And that's more or less what the amiibos have turned into, is physical in-game DLC. So, any thoughts, Phoenix? I would love to.
I mean, originally they're just. I mean, well, for one, they were mostly for Smash Brothers. You like could, you know, I guess essentially, you save like your ghost memory. I guess. Yeah. Like when I found out Apple not only charges for the price of music you bought, but also takes money and adding previous prices from other purchases you made. Well, you know what? They do say Nintendo is like the Apple or Disney of, you know, the gaming industry. So honestly, it doesn't surprise me at all.
I hear your thoughts on this in particular.
I'm not encouraging it.
It's obviously a dick move. It's ridiculous. I'm a little surprised that Retro Studios. Obviously, I was going to say allow it, but obviously Nintendo is.
Okay, Nintendo, they have no real say of it. It's Nintendo. They're the ones who do all this. I mean, I think they're technically owned by Nintendo, or Nintendo has stock in the company. So you know, what they say goes.
Takes charge there, but I'm almost wondering if I'm going to play devil's advocate, and it's heavy devil's advocate, that Retro Studios didn't want music there. And because that's what they wanted that isolation feel. And then Nintendo saw an opportunity. Again, I don't think that's the case, but if I had to try to figure something out, that they just, all right, well, we'll give them as an addition to it, as opposed to taking something away. But
I think it might have been the opposite. I am guessing Nintendo wanted some type of, you know, microtransaction, and the music was always meant to be in the game. And then Nintendo's like, oh, we got to do something for these amiibos because we can't just, you know, I don't know. Usually amiibos, like if you put them like in Zelda or whatever the fuck, it just gives you extra items. You don't really need them. It's just there. Honestly, you're just buying a stupid toy at that point. But this says like, oh, we got to give an incentive to buy these, which, you know, hardcore fans are going to buy the stupid thing anyway. So now you have to, in order to get the music, like early on, I guess, since again, like I said, you have to 100% to get the music. You got to have this amiibo, which is so fucking stupid. It's a dick move, like Phoenix said. I liked him, by the way. He's kind of cool.
I think it's a terrible look, especially, and it's a terrible move. Period. I think it's horrible.
Sad thing is about this is probably in a few weeks, no one's gonna care. They're gonna move on, and Nintendo will do something either more just as stupid or they'll do something cool. Like, we forgot.
$2 for that is garbage.
I think that's interesting to hear the devil's advocate side of things. And by the way, your microphone may be the worst of them all.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I hear like background, like fan noise or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you next to a fan?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. that actually sounds way better.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. But here's the thing: some of these amiibos, going back to price charting, you can buy these things, and I'm actually going to go back to something we did a long ass time ago, but I'll do that here in just a second. But I
mean, I have some amiibos. They're fine. I don't really play with them. They're just like little statues, but I didn't buy them like they were like $30, maybe like $14, and I bought them like over the course of when did Smash come out? Like the Smash for Wii U 2012, 13. Like I've seen people, and I take them out of the box because I wanted to use them. But yeah, I'm not going to like 30. That's ridiculous.
Some of these amiibos are actually pretty damn expensive according to price charting. This has become a collectible thing. You can see the Mega Man 11, Mega Man amiibo.
Really, that's $50. I have that one. Huh. Nice.
Amiibos, $50. This one Yarn Yoshi is $167.
I have the small. Oh wait, no, that's the big Yoshi. I could never find that one. I have like the small little Yoshis. I have Luigi. I don't have that one. I think I have Rob.
Like these are all pretty damn pricey.
253 is crazy.
Yeah, here we go.
So,
they're like.
I'll tell you what, Kay. I have a note specifically on our run sheet that says Kay knows all about these amiibos. She used to stand in line for them. Tell us.
I did.
Tell us about your weird obsession.
Okay. I may have stand in line for one amiibo. I think it was for Greninja. Just because I wanted to go. I kind of missed those little releases. This was at a Toys R Us, and sadly, there's no Toys R Us around here anymore. In fact, I think it's like a wine. They sell wine now, but it was like opening day because I was off, and I was like, yeah, let's go. Me and my cousin went, let's go get, the fucking amiibos, and I got one. And that was it. There you go. Wasn't even that long of a line.
I have like 3 boxes myself of amiibos, and James also used to collect them separately. And him and I have been dating for a long time, but we've been collecting them before we started dating. That's how long we've been collecting them for. So we looked at our collection, we're like, holy crap. But I stood in line for a first edition Marth. And I got the last one, and I stood in that line for like 2 hours because I'm such a Fire Emblem simp. I'm like, I need that Marth. So I was that person. I remember that like we had a chat with our friends to be like, oh, like if you're at this store, go get me this one, and I'll grab you this one. So like one person would like go to Best Buy to get.
I think there was a website for amiibo tracking too. I don't remember. But normally I would just check Twitter and I check Cheap Ass Gamer and he was like, oh, they're available over here. And that's how I was able to get that Little Mac one for like $10.
Meta Knight.
And that one was like extremely rare at the time.
The other person would be like, go get me a Kirby, and we'd all like get one each and be able to like have them because it was so hard to get them when they first came out. And they were $12.99 at the time. It was
there you go.
Like it felt like amazing. It was like, here's these new Nintendo collectibles and they look great on a shelf. You can either keep them in the box and put them like on a hook on the wall, or you can pull them out and it looks great. So
that's what I did. I mean, you just put them on a shelf. That's it.
Really, like at the time, it was so exciting to just run around and like collect all of them. I feel like I should do a stream at some point, just unboxing, not like ripping the boxes open, but like just going through my boxes because I have tons. And it used to be an event. Like I
tried to be very careful with also opening the boxes because I kind of liked the art, the cardboard. I guess the cardboard, the backdrop or whatever the fuck. And I couldn't get open them properly. So I was like, fuck it. And I just because I didn't want to keep them in the box.
Stopped lining.
I'm not that type of fan.
Up at midnight for video games, but I was still lining up for amiibos.
Damn.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Aww. It's okay, Kay.
It's not worth it. Now they're like $30 minimum. It's crazy. And the 2 packs are like $50.
And no one buys them.
So if I can tie.
Yes, wow, shocker. The person that talks about video games and likes them is a nerd. We're so
I know, and I love that. I love that about you. I love that about you, Kay. So
he says with his DuckTales lunchbox that's worth at least well over $1,000. I think it's worth like almost $10,000. This little thing. That's because it's like very limited. I think only like journalists got it. It's extremely expensive.
You guys remember when the amiibos were like the rage when they first came out? There was they were the big thing.
Not in my hood.
Not in your hood, huh?
Not in my hood.
No.
We wanted drugs.
For some people, the amiibo was drugs. I mean, this was they were straight hook it to my veins.
That person. It was my drug.
Okay, I think you're gonna really appreciate this. Actually, in 2016, before I left Screw Attack, we did an event called the Amiibo Cockfight.
I remember
And
this.
The premise of this was you bring your amiibos. Actually, I think what we did was we had we gave everybody on our staff an amiibo, and we had them power it up because you powered up through Smash Brothers, and
Right.
then we would.
Yeah, you would like you could put it in the game, the CPU, and the more you fought it, the more it would start to learn until like it would get to a level 100 or something. That I remember this, and you could put that data onto your amiibo.
Have
it was actually kind of cool.
Them compete in a computer versus computer Smash Brothers matchup, and the loser actually got destroyed like on stage.
The amiibo?
Yeah, the amiibo itself got destroyed. And actually, I found this footage of this is from way back then, 2016, of this event where people were coming in and being a part of it. This is at SGC, this event we did, and this was one of my favorite events. We had an executioner on stage. People would they would bring their amiibos up, and they'd be like, "Let me do it," and bring your amiibo to us, and they would compete. And then we would go and absolutely put them in a blender, or we had a saw on stage. It was so much fun.
Did you do that to those precious amiibos? Oh God.
That was the idea.
Oh.
It was so much fun to do. We had a packed house for it, and you would see when their amiibo lost, they went into the Iron Maiden here, and they would eventually just get destroyed on stage.
Dying right now.
This is like really breaking me right now.
Gonna throw up. Where'd that blood come from?
This is nuts, bro.
Isn't that awesome?
Fuck it.
Incredible production, but my God, this hurts my soul. Like as a collector, it's so painful to watch.
Yeah.
That was kind of the whole idea of it. Was you were so into it, you had to give it up, and ultimately people were. That's funny.
I was about to say, what's this kid's fucking problem?
What?
He is like,
Discount Camelot.
It was fun times. So, anyways, good times back then. So, I got a titty twister there. So, good times back then. And I don't know, having your heart break from these amiibos was it's actually kind of fun to watch. Kate, that was literally the exact point.
Oh my God. Imagine spending, because you train those amiibos, right? Like you put them into the game and then you fight them and they learn from you. And so imagine training up for that event and you're like with this amiibo, and then all of a sudden you lose after like months of training it and you see it crushed before you. There's so much about that's painful.
It was really fun.
That's awful.
Maybe we should bring this back just for UK. Like we had a little gimp.
Me devastated.
We had a little gimp on stage, bringing up. It's offering us.
Hell.
So stupid. It was so fun. Anyways. Yeah. So, Kay, would you be interested? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was very elaborate. Would you be interested in doing this again, Kay, if we were to bring back the amiibo cockfight?
I have to do it. Yeah. I have to train it to win. Yeah.
Phoenix, what do you think about this?
I think it's actually a great idea. I think that's a hell of an idea for an event. What was the worst torture?
That was it liquid nitrogen?
Execution, rather.
So this was the you can see put it in.
That's the Jason.
Liquid nitrogen.
Put it in liquid nitrogen and just bust it with a hammer. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we can't get it out.
Getting like tossed into the crowd, and you see we have this rickety old barbed wire. Yeah, it's okay. It's fun times though.
I don't think you can get it out.
Anyway,
Did you get it?
So I don't remember
it's still
all
stuck.
The different things that we had made for this.
There you go.
This was my little Mac. Right.
Oh wow.
So
yeah, those aren't those were like kind of rare too.
Bust out a hammer, you're gonna see this thing just get wrecked here.
I waited in line for an hour for a little Mac. I can't imagine watching you get destroyed for that. Oh God.
You'll see it go.
See?
Play to the crowd.
Come on. Come on.
Oh no, maybe we should think about bringing this back. Amiibos aren't that popular now. I mean, I guess they are kind of popular, but
it's still kind of expensive,
like they were then. Oh, there you go, and it's gone.
All right.
Like I have a ton. We can make it happen.
You want to
just?
How did you find an executioner for amiibos?
Oh, he was one of the guys on our staff.
Craigslist.
No, there you go.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm like, how the hell do you find one? Did you just Google like I need an executioner for amiibos, please?
Yeah.
No, that was Sean.
They're
He
high
wanted
in demand.
Yeah.
That's
Need a
their
professional
career. They go
executioner.
around.
He's on Fiverr.
Yeah, they go around executing amiibos around the world. You gotta book them in advance, 6 months in
Look at
advance.
their resume.
This genuinely devastated me.
Chat says Craigslist.
I love everything about that. It makes me happy. Makes me happy.
Craigslist.
That's good.
Craigslist.
Well, so in addition, this is not the only time that we've seen a little bit of controversy around Metroid Prime 4. If I could bring it back, I will.
Okay. So it's
a lot of the conversation has been about the actual conversation in this game. And
yeah, okay.
Phoenix, I know we talked about the side characters here. There was initial talk about the guy in yellow. I don't remember his name at this point, but that all turned out
Miles or something like that.
Yeah, Miles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his name.
Well, there was footage of about a 30-second clip this morning of an interaction that Samus had with an NPC here, and you'll kind of see this interaction. This is not what I expect when I play a Metroid game.
Sarge!
Armstrong, you all right?
I'm good. You?
Yes.
While I was waiting, I was studying this hologram. I just...
Kind of looks like she's from Big Hero 6 or something.
Wow.
With her face.
Samus? It's really you.
Oh, God.
I don't even know what to say. Is this a new suit? It's amazing. I love it. I love it so
Private.
much. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that
It
was
is hard.
It is a nice suit, yeah.
I mean, it's stupid, but yeah, a little fangirling is kind of lame.
With that
Or kind of
said,
cringe.
Gay.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Extremely gay.
But I will say, I don't ever want to hear anybody bitch and moan about asking for Pokemon to have voice acting, because I guarantee you, it'll be 10 times worse. I don't, all that people complaining about Z8, oh, it doesn't have voice acting, it doesn't have voice acting. Yeah, this is the crap you're going to get. Also, you want to hear voice acting in a Pokemon game? Go play, what is it? Pokemon, not Champions, Pokemon Masters. Fucking so goddamn cringeworthy voice acting.
I actually spoke to a friend who actually works in the animation guild, and he said that a bunch of people from the animation guild worked and like storyboarded that. A lot of the dialogue sequences and stuff like that, the really cringe moments. And there's a lot of woke and gay people in the animation industry, especially in IATSE and TAG, which is the animation guild. Very, very gay, very, very progressive, and like leftist people work there.
Makes sense.
Funny you
It
mentioned
still
that.
feels like a studio note to me, though. Like, this game has been in production hell for a long time. And I know that Nintendo,
Oh, I meant like voice acting as in, you know, the characters, as in them speaking, like actually having voice lines. Like having the characters like have voice acting, like, because now it's still obviously just, you know, you have to read text. But like it would see so it would not sound well. I can tell you that now. We'd probably get a bunch of YouTube voice actors, and yeah, no.
again, Kay, do you know if it was like 2 iterations of the game were canceled? Does that sound familiar to you?
I know of at least one iteration, but it's 2 sounds about right. I mean, 18 years? Yeah, there's got to be multiple iterations at that point, right?
So Metroid has never been a huge, you know, it's Nintendo's biggest seller. So again, I'm just trying to figure.
It's not Nintendo's biggest seller. That's still like Mario and Zelda. In fact, it sells. Metroid is still very modest. It doesn't do gangbusters. I believe it was technically canceled, or at least development was switched because it was like Nintendo in-house. I don't know who exactly was it, and then they switched it over to retro, or switched it back to retro. So it's been all over the place.
So my guess is that there was a studio note that it's not, clearly this is not a big moneymaker. We need to bring in a new audience. I'd be curious to see if this is hitting a younger audience, if this is catering to them a little bit more, because maybe the quiet, serene loneliness of Metroid was not working, and Nintendo worried and was like, we need to add a little.
I mean, it works for the fans, but I don't. I think it's just the writing that itself. There needs to be more isolation in it.
More excitement to this. We need to have more characters, more humor, things like that to bring in a new audience, because this feels like a studio note to me.
You kind of cooked. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't think it did. It might just be the writer who wanted to do something different with the series. Most likely trying to get some type of MCU / Reddit type of way of writing characters. Because that's what it feels like.
That was a good point.
I don't understand.
I mean, I would figure, seeing Samus would be almost kind of like, almost a bit intimidating, because, she is a very well-renowned bounty hunter and everything. Kind of like in, what was it, Doom Eternal? Like in that, I don't know if it was, like where he's just walking through, that little hall or whatever, and all those people just kind of stop at him. They don't say anything really that much. They're just kind of almost intimidated by him. I kind of feel like you could have that with Samus. She doesn't even really have to speak all that much. Like, like she has a reputation of being a very fierce bounty hunter. I mean, I think you could do that. You don't have to have this weird fangirl doing it. Doing that.
Right. What member of today's modern audience is going back and like check and gonna hop in on Metroid Prime 4?
Well, I think that's the idea. They want to try to bring in somebody, because otherwise, like, Retro Studios knows what they're doing. They made 3 incredible, arguably incredible.
Yeah, but you got to remember, that was like years ago. A lot of these studios do not have 100% the same staff they had back then in 2000s. Case in point, this writer, who I believe is very, very woke of the game. The person who wrote the game is very considered woke, very progressive, uses all the pronouns and all the alphabet. So that's I think that's where it kind of lies in
Metroid games. To have such a departure from that original,
and let's not act like the Metroid games are really super known for their story. It's at least not a complete, amazing, in-depth type of narrative. You kind of learn things through bits and pieces from documents you read.
That quiet, serene Metroid experience with such a loud exclamation mark seems to me like some producer or someone came in and says, here's what we need to do. We need to add X, Y, and Z to this new Prime 4 for a new direction, because that's what it feels like to me.
It's been a gradual thing, though, because I think Prime 3 also had some quirkiness as well. And
I will say, I don't think it's 100% on Nintendo. I do think it's probably within Retro. Again, Retro is a Western developer, and we know Western developers are very much into DEI and this types of writing. So
we know Other M, of course. It's like the black sheep. But I think it's been gradual, but it feels like it's like super dialed up in this one in comparison. So it's maybe just an introduction to the Prime series. Like Prime 1 and 2, I don't think have too much of that, but 3, I've heard, has a lot of that.
Well, there was a lot of talk about the actual writer of Metroid Prime 4. And when you go to her Twitter handle, it says that this is what she did. And it's all about Metroid Prime 4 and, the release of it and such. This is a lady named Tracy Nicoletti here. And, people obviously are intrigued where this person came from and how this person got the job. But they also found some really interesting things. You were talking about, the progressive nature of this industry, and found a couple interesting retweets over here. I'm not concerned about males transitioning to females. I'm concerned about Americans transitioning to Nazis.
Of course.
Yeah. So
checks out.
Go.
We got that, and here he is right here. This is cosplaying there. Very progressive young lady. This Tracy Nicoletti here was literally shedding tears during our former president's speech in 2020.
Wow.
And
was the Choco Chip that was so emotional?
When we fell off the bike.
Yeah.
Was it him just standing there?
Also was beyond
saying nothing?
Went out and did a little celebrating back in 2020. And this is
impressive. Now let's see November 2024.
before the world went to absolute hell. There's that. So going back to the cutscene here, when it comes to Metroid Prime 4, this is a pretty funny viral meme. Metroid Prime 4 cutscene. The private. Oh my God, my Hecarino. Is that really you, Samus? I don't even know what to say right now. Is that
all right? It wasn't that bad.
One of these Japanese video games, you know? You get it? Video games? Wow, it's amazing. I love it. Slay. Samus.
Ugh.
Kind of looking back, you're like. But, you know, here, a lot of people are actually picking up the game. And
that would be funny if, you know, they did make a Metroid movie and Sydney Sweeney played as a Samus. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be funny.
One of the big things that you see when it comes to these games is people like to 100% the games. And this has been this is not the first time this happened with Nintendo games, but apparently, if you are playing through Metroid Prime 4, the in-game autosaves and will lock you to a spot where you can't go back for 100% completion even after you beat the game. So when you're warned you're about to enter the end game, you should make a backup. So, and you know, if you are going to go back and play through the entire game, just a heads up. I know that.
Actually, no, I mean, a lot of games tell you this. They're like, oh, you're about to enter an area where you can't go back. You know, do you want to continue? That's not that bad.
One of those things that happens in Zelda as well. I think it happened in Twilight Princess. So, not a huge fan of that. That's like one of my personal pet peeves in video games.
I mean, at least it tells you.
Is when you finish a game, and this is more of a classic thing than I think it is today. When you finish a game and you're not able to exit after the credits, like I fucking hate that. I've always hated that. That would literally be a make or break thing for me. When I could play through an entire game, and if I can't restart the game without pressing start or hitting a button to restart and go back to the title screen, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with that shit. But is that just a me thing?
Yeah.
It might be a bit of a utism, but
yeah.
I guess it's because I haven't played a game in a long time. It's had that. It was definitely a more retro thing.
Yeah, very retro.
You don't have to really worry about that anymore. But that's
wait, I think I know. Okay, like after the credits and it just kind of sticks on the credits. You can't, you have to reset the game essentially to go back to the main menu. Yeah, that's old. That's an old NES, SNES thing. They don't really do that anymore. I mean, some won't let you skip the credits, but you still get to go back into the game, or it takes you to the main menu.
That's just modern hardware.
I feel like they just didn't want to code like resets, like the actual that all the in-game logic. They didn't feel like resetting it, so you just have to hard restart the game.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
My modern equivalent pet peeve is when New Game Plus is locked behind DLC. So I love doing New Game Plus. Tales of Games has that a lot, and then you go in and like all the like grades and stuff that you got from before, you can use that as currency to like buy power-ups for your next run. So I tend to like roll into new runs. But I think it was one of the Yakuza games, Like a Dragon, where they literally locked the New Game Plus behind DLC. You had to pay extra for New Game Plus, and to me, that's crazy. Just like that should be baked into the game. You should never lock a New Game Plus behind, hey, give us $20, and then you can play again with your extra stuff that you had. What?
Agreed.
That's messed up.
Otherwise, you're just playing the you got to buy a new game. It's more or less you're buying a sequel. That's
So that's I think the modern equivalent of it, which is
all right. Well, there is another little thing about this. I know that Craig had made a little tweet. It's like, oh, he'll talk about it, but made a little tweet kind of making fun of Nintendo fans, and they got all pissy. And it's like very, very, very small, but we'll just watch that really fast.
Dollar music and annoying side characters and all this stuff, right? And I saw a picture on the internet. I'm going to be straight up honest. I stole this from somebody else, but somehow me posting this has pissed off a lot of people. One thing we have seen is that people will go to bat. And this is not a Nintendo exclusive thing, right? This is every console, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or even PC, right? PC Master Race. I'm talking to you guys. They will all go to bat for their tribe.
I mean, if you want to piss off Sony fans, just, call God of War, 2018 a movie? Show them that little picture of Conan O'Brien saying, we haven't touched the controller for 45 minutes, which is from him when he was playing God of War.
But Nintendo fans in particular.
I don't even know any Xbox fans anymore.
But I know this because I have been one for the longest time. they will fucking die for Miyamoto. They will murder you if you disgrace your Nintendo friend. So yesterday I posted this picture here. Said this is the best portrayal of Nintendo fans I've ever seen, and it is
It's an old picture, but
phenomenal picture, which is great. And it's kind of popped off.
I rolled my eyes, I chuckled, I moved on.
A little bit, 300,000 views over there, and a lot of people
Feel
are
like that'd be a bit more insulting.
Response is what it is, and I'm getting a lot of this. A lot of people taking my
oh my
picture
god,
here, people thinking that like I'm some Concord fanboy, which is.
Yeah, okay. So for context, this was around the time then they announced that they were cutting off the servers. And so, like, during the show, Craig just went to a Best Buy and bought 2 copies. I think he bought 1 copy, and then he got another copy or something at some point of Concord with the joke, obviously, that, it was going to be worth a lot of money. And that was that was it. That was the whole gag. And yeah, I don't know why.
But guys, I
want
to let you know that I've hit the darkest side of the internet, as I unfortunately
that's not hard to hit.
How I'm going to recover from this, Straub. I've been ratioed on the internet, and I will forever feel shame here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've been ratioed before. I just don't look at my comments. I say something and then I kind of forget about it. That's literally it. When I write on Twitter.
Ratio, that means you're wrong.
Obviously, ratio is the only way to determine the truth.
I have great shame, and I don't know how I'm going to recover from this at all. Yeah, I know. As the Nintendo goof at Nintendo goof.
So he's objective.
Has ratioed me with a picture of myself.
Okay.
Over here.
My life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage, trying hard to
collect coins.
I can totally find this person is so objective. Clearly, he calls himself the Nintendo goof, and he has Pyra from Xenoblade, the Nintendo exclusive Xenoblade series. So wow, so totally objective.
That is quite the ratio.
it was a pretty good ratio, and I just don't know how to recover from this. This is one of the things that I
don't know who's more stupid, this guy, or the people who liked his comment in agreement. You sure showed him.
Really loved is and this is the thing that I see all the time is, wasn't this guy literally on a show called Screw Attack?
He ran Screw Attack. What are you talking about?
And then you see.
It was incredible, goated at the time. How I met some friends back then, but they fell off into the abyss various ways. Some crew members still stream. Others worked on Rooster Teeth. They were bought by Rooster Teeth. This person doesn't know what he's talking about. He went into grifting. Again, when anyone uses the term grifting, I immediately zone out because these dumbasses don't know what grifting means. I'll let you figure, well, okay. Like I said, they were bought by Rooster Teeth. Eventually, he left Screw Attack. He did his own little thing called Game Attack, and he left that, and boom, there. Now he's doing this. Pretty much, it's not that difficult of a story.
People who are like, yeah, he fell off.
It's so funny. I went on like a rabbit hole like a few weeks ago because I didn't know about any of that, and I found out
He was the worst part of Screw Attack. He ran Screw Attack. What the fuck are you talking about? His writing was what writing? He wrote Video Game Vault. Like they only did is like a thing called Video Game Vault is like maybe a less than 5-minute video about a certain old ass video game, and they did top 10s. Boom. It was 2006, 2010 writing. It is what it was, but it's fine.
Brother's a musician and all these things. I heard his one song. It was really good. It's on my Spotify now. But I was just like,
you butt kisser.
I didn't realize like how
Straub.
like famous you are. Like it's kind of crazy.
The glazing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, but I mean like you were on TV and like there was I saw the video of you showing your daughters like the episode or whatever, and I was like, he was on TV. Like I just didn't know any of that. It was very cool.
Well, I'd first like to thank you for stalking me, Straub.
Yeah, perv.
You're welcome.
Don't make it weird, but
freaking psycho.
No, I'm just kidding. Look, I had a very small window on the internet where we were on top, right? And we had a good run and all that stuff. But I do want to let you know that according to some people, like Sandman over here, I was the worst part of Screw Attack. I had a great voice for narrating, but my writing was dog shit.
Fell
And now
off,
I'm-
went for bigger and better things. Death Battle. Wait. Everyone from Screw Attack. Death Battle was on Screw Attack. Brundle Floss was on there for like a hot minute. Matt Pat, was he really on? I mean, he did like videos. He like user submitted videos. But that was like very where Craig was never. Craig was like was memorable. Nervous Nick always had. They did those together. This guy's an idiot.
just an annoying
King of Delusion is right.
44-year-old man trying to stay relevant with anti-woke stuff. So I also want to let you know that I've fallen off hard and that everyone at Screw Attack went on to bigger, better things.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say.
And
It's time for us to go.
yeah, it's tough. So I'm sorry, guys, that
You've
I'm
fallen off. Sorry, Craig.
I'm just holding you guys down, and I'd like to apologize for that.
It's okay, man.
But the ratio didn't just stop there. As Kennedy
What happened?
Clark wanted to let everybody know that look, it's true. All these exclusives make it easy to smile, and we're quite happy on this side, which
Is that a Metroid character? Right, yeah. Totally objective.
is the most like console fanboyish thing I've ever heard. We're quite happy on this side
Do not question, just consume and get excited for next product. What a shill.
over here. It's like 1992 again. It's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
So I will say this: that is the one thing about Nintendo is that they have outstanding exclusives. They make Nintendo games. They don't make video games.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a Nintendo fan. Well, I like Nintendo more than probably the other two. I don't really see them as this these super magical type of company. It's a vendor. It's just another place to get a product. They make something I like, I'll buy it. If I don't, oh well, I'll see you next time. That's pretty much how I view most companies and publishers and pretty much in general. I mean, I don't have this devotion to any of them. I like what I like. And if it's cool, I'll buy it. Not, I'll see you next time. Hopefully maybe we'll find something. The whole concept of brand loyalty is essentially means nothing to me. Maybe that's when like Star Wars started getting really bad on The Force Awakens, so I had to cut myself off from that type of devotion.
So and I think that's a good thing for them. But the quote tweets on this have just been outstanding, and it's all much of the same. A lot of people actually think I'm like this big Concord lover guy, which is just great.
Yeah,
love that. A lot of people just call
Wait,
me
whoa, what's that one? What did Cam say? When your wife's boyfriend gets you the new video console for children.
Love that. A lot of people just
call me,
what a shithole
We don't use Joy-Cons. Everything else is accurate though.
I am, how useless I am.
Retro gaming YouTubers, such a grifter. I've stopped caring. Yeah, I get to the point where you just trust any of them. We don't trust any. Yeah, like you.
What a big
grifter,
and all that stuff.
Not the best portrayal of Nintendo fans. The most accurate portrayal of Nintendo fans.
So, it was really, really fun. So naturally,
Someone's playing on a guitar.
My timeline now. I've done what any natural grifter would do, and I've gone through and I've just trying to figure out exactly how to figure this out. In addition to being ratioed, I also decided to let everybody know this is the best portrayal of Sony fanboys I've ever seen. As well.
Well, no, they'd be holding the whole console or something.
You son of a bitch.
I know. This one
He's gone too far.
Off quite as much here as well.
No.
But I also want to let you know that this is also the best portrayal of Xbox fans
No, it would be like holding a toaster and saying, this is an Xbox or something like that.
Also ever seen.
Losers.
I know. Neither of these will take off.
Sony pony over here on my right.
Mm-hmm. And of course, this is the best portrayal of Concord fan I've ever seen. So
it's because he's wearing the glasses that cover the tears that since the servers don't work anymore.
Somehow I managed to piss off the internet. So
you got to do it for anime fans, but have him holding like like one of those love pillows, or a VTuber band, which would probably be just the same thing, holding the love pillow.
What's your pronouns, Greg?
Concord/fan. That's it.
All right. Yeah, people are whiny. Jesus Christ, just get over it. It's a joke. Anyway, that's. I looked a little bit. Well, I didn't really look at this. I just wanted to. Is this the next big Resident Evil game? Let's talk about Requiem. Let's see. I haven't really looked that much into it, if at all. Mostly because I don't. If it's gonna be like the other two, I will like it. It'll be fine, but I'll never have no desire to fucking go back to it. And the fact that they keep it does look cool. I kind of wish they would. I don't know. Just
Resident Evil
but
Requiem
let's
is
see.
pitched as a hinge point, the 9th numbered chapter in a series that circled back to the same crater in the map and asking what still lives there. Is it Capcom's 30-year self-audit as much as it is a sequel, a deliberately framed counter?
Like I said, I'm always skeptical, but I want it to be good. I don't get anything out of games being bad. I mean, Jesus, especially now with prices as they are. I would love it to be good, and I really hope it is.
Argument to every moment the franchise chased velocity and had the rare misstep or the continued excellence of horror. You know me, these previews aren't blowing up wind. If something looks off or out of date or there's a problem with it, I'm going to point it out. This thing is dropping on the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC via both Steam and Epic, and that includes the Switch too. Like and subscribe. We always like to give stuff.
Man, I was so disappointed when I heard about the Switch 2. I mean, I first I was like, okay, if it has a physical copy, like it's not on those stupid game keys, I'll buy it. I'll definitely buy it. I'll buy it on PC too. I will double dip because it does look good. But no, it's a fucking key card. So like, basically the one that's coming with both with 7 and 8. So I was like, I fucking hate this. I hate these game key cards. That's another thing about Nintendo. Holy shit, it's not necessary, and they don't use it. It's just third parties use it. But the fact that they gave them that option is so fucking scummy, especially in an industry that seems to have such a vendetta against consumers from actually owning their product. I fucking hate it. Anyway, sorry, a little off topic.
Stuff away to the people who are interacting with the channel. Let's cut through the bullshit first. Requiem is set in Raccoon City, not the bustling metropolis we knew from 1998. We're talking 30 years after the whole goddamn place got nuked into oblivion at the end of Resident Evil 3. The city's been friggin' sitting there, rotting away like a forgotten Halloween decoration, and now something's stirring in the ruins, making people disappear at the Wrenwood Hotel where Grace Ashcroft's mom...
They are doing that. Absolutely. And I fucking hate it.
Mom died 8 years prior. So like instead of inheriting a nice dry cleaning empire, a nice hamlet in the English woods, or some Bitcoin, Grace gets to inherit a bioterror investigation and a serious case of daddy issues. Speaking of Grace Ashcroft, let's talk about our new protagonist because she's a departure, I think, from the usual Resident Evil musclehead squad. Forget Leon.
I mean, she's not that big of a departure now. Had to get a Spec Ops the line elsewhere because it was removed from Steam. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me see if I'm able to find. Sorry to go on another little fucking detour here, but does he have it here? Because there is someone I do follow who has like his own little page on it doesn't have it. Never mind. Anyway, he has like a lot of games that have essentially been abandonware, and they're on Internet Archive. And so he basically just, has a zip file. You just put the game, it has the game, it's already installed and everything. You just got to put it on your hard drive and boom, you can play it. That's how I got like a lot of these other games like Nocturne. But no, he doesn't have it. I'm sure someone will be able to do that though. Or just wait for GOG to take it, to have it. Do they have it? Does GOG have? Oh, there you go. Cool. The glory of the internet.
On Kennedy's perfect hair, Chris Redfield steroid regime.
But yeah, like we've had Ethan for the last 2 games, and to a lesser extent, Rose. So they're not, they're no, Officer Super Chad McThundercock there. So this isn't that big of a departure, I don't think.
We've got an FBI technical analyst who's described as introverted, and easily scared by the director. Translation, she's basically the anti-Resident Evil protagonist, a bookworm who feels powerless because she's not proficient in combat like any of the other series heroes. This is either a brilliant move to make horror more relatable or Capcom's way of saying, hey, you know what? Anxiety that you feel when you talk to people at parties, yeah, turned up to about 50.
I don't know what to think about that. Like I said, they kind of did, like, he seems to be forgetting Ethan. Ethan didn't really have much of a personality in 7. They were trying to do that Master Chief type of thing where you imprint yourself on or you relate to I guess, they have no personality, so you relate more to the main character, which, with a game like Resident Evil that has these very, I guess, larger than life type of characters, I don't really know how to feel about that. It did help bring the fear back into this series, but it also makes me wish I got those characters back. Or at least something like that.
Now, admittedly, they have had some protagonists like this, but usually they end up being quite good at combat as the game progresses. We'll have to see if that actually ends up panning out.
I'm pretty sure she's just going to be just as competent as Ethan.
The director even admitted that they always thought about making Leon the protagonist in this game, but making a horror game based around him was difficult because Leon doesn't scare easily, which, fair enough, the guy survived Raccoon City twice, fought a giant bat monster, and still found time to maintain some impeccable sense of style. The dude's practically a superhero at this point, but I still think that you could have probably made that scary. And
I mean, or just make another character in that kind of kind of in that archetype, at least kind of where he was in 2. You know, just a cop or, you know, an agent out of his element. He's never seen these things. It's obviously going to be very new to him.
We'll talk about some rumors along the way. Now, let's get to the gameplay because that's where the real meat of this one is. And I'm not talking about the kind of meat you find on a Resident Evil inventory screen. Requiem?
Yeah. That is weird. And to a lesser extent, 0 also. There was a bat monster in there. Was there a bat monster in 5? I guess you're right. I haven't played 5 in so long. And I didn't particularly care for it.
Requiem is shaken up the formula by offering both first-person and third-person perspectives that you
That's
can
fine.
switch between at any goddamn time, which is a break from recent entries that were locked into first-person like a chastity belt. First-person is the default, offering what Capcom is saying is tense, realistic gameplay, while third-person is ideal for people who enjoy action-packed gameplay. In other words, if you want to shit your pants in immersive first-person terror, that's your jam. But if you prefer to see your character's panic facial expressions as they're being chased by a monster, third person has you covered. I love the dual perspective approach. I think it feels like Capcom's trying to have their cake a bit and eat it too. Yes, appealing to both the Resident Evil 7 purists who love that claustrophobic first-person experience that they got in the game.
I have no problem with giving players choice. So I'm okay with that. I probably will be playing this in third person, so yeah. But you know, there are people who like the first person.
Not only in the VR version, but in the traditional version, and also, once again, to appease traditionalists who miss the over-the-top view of games like Resident Evil 4.
I mean, if you want to be talked about traditionalists, technically it would be in that old camera tank controllers, but whatever. I see where you're going.
Let's be honest, the Resident Evil games have never really ended up taking the cake when it comes to the animation. A lot of times, no matter what you're doing, it can always feel a little bit off, even in the first-person modes, so I'm not too worried about it. The core gameplay loop for this one seems to resolve around one terrifying mother of a monster that stalks Grace throughout the entire game. Similar to, say, Mr. X from Resident Evil 2 or that crazy son of a bitch in Resident Evil 7. This thing...
Or Nemesis? Has this guy played any of the other Resident Evil titles?
Sounds like pure nightmare fuel. We're talking about a creature that can stalk you through walls and ceilings, which is not something you want to hear when you're trying to hide under a table like a scared little kid. Your survival tactics include crouching and sneaking to, of course, make less noise, hide under objects because apparently the monster doesn't understand basic table physics.
I'm going to also assume that this is maybe like one small part of the game. I would hope it's not. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder. He seems like his I mean, for all I wouldn't be surprised if his first fucking encounter, his first game was what, the remakes? And by that, I mean RE2 remake. Honestly, if this is like, say, Resident Evil 8 Village, where they kept really propping up Lady Dimitrescu, it's going to be like one section of the game.
And collect glass bottles to throw as distractions. You've also got a lighter, and illuminating dark areas is one thing.
Or even worse, it's going to be like with Lady Dimitrescu, and they're not really going to be that much of a threat. But you can really not... I mean, I never got caught by her.
But here's the kicker: the light will also attract the attention of the monster. So you're basically playing
That's kinda
a
cool.
deadly game of how much can I see before something horrible notices me. And additionally, light can also injure that actual monster, so or at least slow it down. It's going to be a nice dichotomy, I think, of how much you use it versus how much you don't want to. Do you get it close to you and then turn off the light and hope that you can hide under a table? All of that will come out.
I do hope that that was just a cutscene, but the whole stumbling, because I don't need that type of clock tower crap in this game. I don't. Bleh.
The strategy of the title. What's particularly interesting to me is the persistent injury system that's been leaked, which sounds absolutely goddamn brilliant. Grace's injuries, at least visibly, they carry over into every chapter of the game, and including the cutscenes. And that's even more impressive
All
when they're
right.
reflected in the cutscenes in real time. I think that just adds a sense of that fiction and form melding together. So if you're bitten on the shoulder during gameplay, you actually see that injury carrying over into some of the story elements. The blood slowly spreading around her shirt as she's trying to have some dramatic conversation. This isn't just scripted bullshit either. The injuries, they're dynamic and apparently unique to each experience. One demo that I saw showed the same gameplay playing out differently depending on whether Grace had recently been bitten or not. The level of continuity, I think, is something that we really haven't seen in Resident Evil before and in a lot of horror games, and it can make the horror feel actual, genuinely personal and inescapable. It's like the game is consistently reminding you that you're not playing as some invincible action hero who heals at every single stop moment.
That's not how Resident Evil ever has been. You've needed always to have proper management of your items. You've needed to, obviously keep your herbs so you can, in case you really needed them. You don't auto heal. This isn't Call of Duty. I don't know what the hell he's talking about here.
But you're playing as somebody who's actually a real person. The setting itself also sounds like it's going to be absolutely in.
Also, we've had a big chunk of games where, one of these people had a fucking rocket launcher or, did backflips in a laser room or punched a boulder. I mean, this is kind of one of the things that does bug me, like where Resident Evil kind of goes in this realism, because then they kind of forgot where a lot of or try to ground it as much as they can. I feel like they forgot what was really enjoyable about those other titles too. Yeah, it was campy and some of the acting was pretty dubious, but it was endearing. And I'm sure this game's going to do very well, obviously. But if it is like I said, like the last two, where it has a lot of these cutscenes, especially at the beginning, where it takes complete control away from the character or from the player, just having to do these on-rail sections. Like in 7, it was going through the little swamps when you're trying to get into the actual house, or in Village where you're getting stuff for Rose and just going around the house, and then shit start hitting the fan. Like I don't want to do all that crap again. Like this isn't. I don't like where this series goes like that in that way.
Insane. First of all, it's gorgeous. The lighting, the shadow, the textures, everything looks great. The
Superficial.
developers mentioned that they didn't do a physics simulation of exactly how Raccoon City was affected by the bomb, but instead thought that things were like, where the bomb landed in the city and how the shockwave would have maybe traveled through some of those areas. The result is supposedly a city that's been devastated, but still feels very recognizable if you've been there, with the team essentially stating that the existing design and layout of Raccoon City that we saw in Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes are still outlaid here. Imagine walking through the police station from Resident Evil 2, but now it's a crumbling ruin with holes in the roof and vegetation growing through the walls and maybe a bit of radiation, or exploring the streets of the city 30 years after the fact, with buildings reduced to skeletons and the whole place smelling like decay and regret. But
that means nothing to me. Like I guarantee half of this crap is not going to really impact the game.
But also a tinge of nostalgia.
Or at least gameplay.
Development-wise, Requiem has been quite a journey. On July 1st, 2024, Capcom revealed that the next main Resident Evil entry was in development. What's fascinating is that the game was initially conceived as something pretty much else entirely, an experimental concept that was scrapped during very early development because the team felt it just wasn't what the fans really wanted. Now, this sounds like a pretty bold admission from Capcom, suggesting that they might have considered something even more radical than what we're getting now, and we've seen those rumors of what it was going to be. Then, on August 20th, 2025, a new trailer dropped showing more of Grace's backstory, including a cutscene with her and Alyssa, which gave us a
It's literally all they showed. It wasn't much of a backstory. She seems kind of Aspergy? I don't know. She may be on the spectrum, or at least I feel like that's what they're trying to imply, but not really imply because they don't want to offend people. I mean, you showed Alessa, I mean, from Ashcroft from Outbreak, so it shows you actually kind of you kind of acknowledge that show or that game. Kind of wish you kind of, I don't even know if I really want to remake anymore at this point for Outbreak. That would be cool, but
insight into their relationship. The Tokyo Game Show revealed that a Switch 2 version was not actually originally planned, but after getting development kits and successful prototyping a port of Resident Evil Village, they decided to add Switch 2 support to the existing release plans.
If only it was physical.
Friggin' impressive. Instead of waiting to do a separate port later, Capcom just said, you know what, we're going to commit to bringing it day and date. Now, technically, the reason why it's so impressive is Requiem is absolutely friggin' stunning looking, as expected, of course, from Capcom's RE engine, which has been powering Resident Evil games since I think around 2017. That means you've got your full ray tracing, ray trace shadows, and all that good next-gen graphical stuff that makes horror games even more terrifying, especially that switch between light and darkness that is done so well if ray tracing is really dialed in. They've been showing off some impressive light.
Guess what? I probably won't even notice this when I'm playing the game. And in fact, I'm pretty sure a lot of people won't. You know why? Because they'd probably be too busy. I don't know. You know, running away from a monster or something. But yes, art direction is important. Unfortunately, he's not really talking about art direction all that much. He's mostly talking about ray tracing and all this other crap. It looks nice, obviously. And Raccoon City, obviously being a derelict town, but it's like, it doesn't feel that different from the last other games.
Effects, particularly in the hands-on demos where the interplay between the light and dark creates a really good sense of despair and, you would say, foreboding. One demo showed how you could flick room lights on and off, completely changing the tone of the space, while hallways were bathed in this weird red glow and kitchen areas had harsh flickering lighting. Those lighting details will also come into play depending on what you're fighting and what may be chasing you and trying to bite you. Now let's talk about the additions and pre-order nonsense for a second, because Capcom's really outdone themselves with this special collector crap. You've got your standard edition, which is the base game, which is basically for people who don't understand the joy of owning some physical media that they'll put in a closet. Then there's the deluxe edition, which includes the base game plus 5 alternate costumes, because apparently you can't get enough of the vampire lady. 4 unique.
Who's we? No, he keeps shoving it down our throats. Our Capcom keeps trying to remind you about that. About Lady Dimitrescu and won't shut up about her. It's pretty bad for when this fucking series anniversary, they have her front and center, but oddly enough, no Stars members, you know, no Wesker, no one from the original game.
Weapon skins, a pair of visual filters, weapon charms, bonus audio content, and additional collectible files that expand the game's lore. That bothers me a lot. Just saying it right up front, I don't like the idea of separating game lore into a special edition. If you're the kind of person who likes to show off, though, there's a Steelbook Deluxe Edition, which has everything that the premium does and 1 or 2 special physical objects. It gets more ridiculous, though. They have platform-specific stuff. PC players who pre-order it via Epic Game Store get Grace Ashcroft's costume to use in Fortnite after the game releases, because apparently the only thing more terrifying than zombies is having to see your favorite horror characters in a Battle Royale game. Nintendo fans, they get a Resident Evil Requiem-themed Pro Controller launching alongside the game. So you get it, I guess, you know, if you spend $60. You also get a Grace Ashcroft amiibo if you like that kind of stuff. And there's some other odds and ends when it comes to different collector's edition. Let's get back to the actual game, though. The monster itself, the one that's chasing you around, looks like it's going to be a worthy addition to the Resident Evil pantheon of terrifying enemies, described as a giant bug-eyed looking hag thing. That might sound a bit ambiguous, but we've seen it in the demos, and it looks haunting. I mean, the fact that it can barely fit through doorways and gives off a bit of a Little Nightmares feel for the dramatic size disparity between you and it adds to the terror. Now, we have seen that in other games, but it really does end up magnifying here, especially in the smaller areas that we've seen. There's something about a monster that's too big for its environment that makes it feel threatening and pathetic at the same time, which is a perfect combination for horror. And the ability for you to interact with it with various light sources, as well as just sneaking like a freak, is probably going to be one of the main linchpins of the game. And the familiar and the haunting is something we're seeing a lot in Requiem. It's how they've seemed to balance nostalgia with innovation. On the one hand, you've got the return to Raccoon City, the classic survival horror formula, but you've got a new protagonist who feels more vulnerable and I would say a bit more relatable to a lot of people. On the other hand, you've got a dual perspective gameplay. You've got persistent injuries, advanced graphics that actually replicate the damage that's been done, and some pretty sophisticated AI for the main monster. Capcom has essentially given us the best of both worlds, the familiar comforts of the series' roots combined with cutting-edge stuff that makes the horror feel more immediate.
Wait, Return to Raccoon City? Well, yeah, I guess essentially you will go back to... No, that was Welcome to Raccoon City. We don't talk about that movie. God, that movie was bad.
Immediate and personal, especially because we do know that the main monster, yeah, it can actually destroy some of the stuff that you've set up. So not every place is going to be safe anymore. Now we'll talk a little bit about some of the rumors. One thing that's been noticeably absent from the marketing is any real mention of returning characters like Leon, Chris, or Jill. This suggests that Requiem...
Supposedly one of them will come back. I've heard rumors that if it's Leon, but they're rumors, so who knows.
Might be more of a soft reboot or a standalone story rather than continuing the main saga of the Resident Evil universe, though we have seen them try this before. While this might disappoint some fans who want to see all of their favorite characters end up in this game, I think it's a pretty bold move by Capcom, of course, depending on how it ends up being as a result and what they end up trying to pull as a sneak through. By focusing on a new protagonist, though, in a self-contained story, at least from what we can see, they can take a bit more risks with the narrative and explore different themes and branches that we haven't seen before. I would say it's similar in a lot of ways to Resident Evil 7 and a little bit...
Really? And yet you say it's in a whole new direction. Which one is it?
To Village, which were both highly successful in their own right. The multiplayer situation is worth mentioning. Unlike some recent RE games, Requiem is single player only from everything that we know. Now, in terms of difficulty, they've also stated that it's going to be pretty challenging, but it will be fair. The monster stalking mechanic suggests that combat might be limited or ineffective, like a lot of the things that you can place around the game world. The environmental puzzle solving, rather than just shooting everything that moves, may end up returning us to an older feel. This return to that series' horror roots, I think, is actually welcome, especially after Village's more action-oriented approach. The fact that light attracts the monster, but it's necessary for navigation, creates a consistent tension and reminds me a lot of...
That's probably one of the cooler ones, is the fact that light can attract them.
Resident Evil 7 and some of the fun I had in that game. I would also say that visually, there's a deliberate choice that they seem to have that reinforces a very serious, somber note to the story and setting, but at the same time is offering a dichotomy. Raccoon City, a massive place that you can explore, but also the smaller areas that you go into, like the hotel, and that switch off between them. Now, sound design is going to be crucial for Requiem, and from what we've heard, Capcom's taking that very seriously. The demo has Grace's erratic, terrified breathing consistently playing out. It's really well done. It's just brilliant because you can actually hear that character panicking, and it can cause you to feel the same. The ambient sounds of the ruined city, the creaking old buildings, the occasional distant growl of monsters, they're all going to have to be layered in perfectly to really contribute to this.
The more I see this, the more it makes me just think they wanted to make a Clock Tower game. But they said, hey, let's just make Resident Evil instead. With the whole running. I don't know. That's just me.
And of course, we'll be looking for that classic soundtrack. Now, in terms of replayability, Requiem does sound like it's going to offer a lot of reasons to come back, whether it be the different puzzles, whether it be a plus game, all that kind of stuff. They've always done pretty well with adding different multiple difficulty levels, unlockable content, and collectibles. And you've got a game that I think will probably keep people engaged, well, at least far more than Resident Evil 3's remake. But it does seem like they're working pretty heavy on this. The narrative potential of this is actually pretty exciting. By setting the game in Raccoon City 30 years after the original incident, Capcom can explore a lot of what's going on here. Memory, trauma, the lasting effects of bioterrorism, monsters, and just family. Grace's personal connection to the city also gives the story a bit of that emotional weight. See, here's the thing. She's also an FBI analyst, which suggests there might be some
connection. I mean, for all we know, she wasn't even born until the city got destroyed. We don't know.
Heavier investigative elements to the gameplay, something that Capcom has shown small amounts for, but hasn't really ended up pulling the rabbit out of the hat yet. I want to see that, because if they can piece all this together, that could be a fantastic title where it feels like you are truly whatever that character supposedly is in real life. One thing that's been particularly impressive about Requiem is how Capcom has maintained that air of mystery while still delivering some good reveals, whether it be trailers or some demos.
Multiplayer and worldwide versions were planned, but later scrapped. I kind of okay with not having multiplayer. Y'all tried that with 5 and 6. It didn't really go over very well. I know a lot of people now play it.
They're very, very careful with what they're showing and what they're doing, so that no matter what, even if you try to look at 2 demos and figure out where it's going, they've done a great job overlaying different parts and sort of overlapping them. So while you feel like, yeah, there's differences in these.
Yeah, but it's still multiplayer, more or less. Unless they were trying to do like a type of a competitive multiplayer, like, you know, you shoot each other, or how they did with like Resistance or whatever the other crap was.
Demos or these trailers, not a lot's been given out. Resident Evil Requiem shaping up to be exactly what
They
I think
tried
the
Operation
franchise
Raccoon City,
probably
Reverse
needs,
Resistance.
a return to form that honors the series.
Reverse, there we go.
While actually pushing forward with some new
That's probably why they scrapped it even more so.
Ideas and advancements that we see in pretty much every one of these games. But we will discuss just for a second the rumors. The rumor is that there might be a Leon part of this game where you actually become that character for a while, or that they show up in it. There's been rumors and leaks and people saying that that's for sure happening. We don't quite know, but Capcom has been very close to the chest stating that really it is just this one main character. However, knowing what we do about the game's original intent and original ideas, I feel like there's probably a very good chance those rumors are absolutely correct. And we will see something like that coming out, or within the game, we'll see some kind of extra story. I think it makes sense, especially if you want to tie in Resident Evil Requiem to everything else. Really, the Requiem part isn't going to end up nailing anything if it doesn't feel like in some way it's connected. Requiem by itself, the word itself, does end up eliciting a feeling of history.
Well, I mean, again, you're going back to Raccoon City. That's the big hook that they keep showing. So, you know, there you go.
Have to do that.
That's your connection.
We look at it and we can say, oh, it's going to be doing that with where you're going, how many years it's been, back to the city itself.
Yes.
True. All of that is very true. But also giving you a connecting byline of some kind, even if they decide that this is their next narrative branch, well, I think it fits to throw a character or 2 in there, at least maybe even just some information, especially when you look at that collector's edition and the idea that it's got extra files in the game's lore in that edition. That does make me suspicious that there is going to be some overlap. But boy, do I not like the idea of that being in a collector's edition. That just feels absolutely broken to me. What doesn't?
I'm sure you could just, someone will leak it. I don't see that. I don't know why you'd be this upset for not having a document.
And what does actually feel like one of the more exciting parts, even though the developers have stated it's not the majority.
I mean, I can't imagine anybody else aside from diehard Resident Evil fans really giving shit about the lore anymore.
Of the game is the creature hunting you, and let me describe to you why. Ray tracing is in many games, and the honest truth is, other than reflective puddles and people trying to bring the graphics cards to their knees with a cyberpunk demo that they want to show with a new version of higher fidelity ray tracing, a lot of times we don't see a great effect. We see a better looking game in many ways, and in some ways always not so true. But the idea that a creature like this will follow you around, be scared of bright lights, and then also at the same time be able to work through different supposedly safe zones that you have and damage them to cause you to have to continue moving. If all that comes
Even
to
me as almost diehard FNAF fan, I get less interested in the lore as it goes on.
Fruition, that kind of unique placement of, let's say, light rays to where you turn on
Unless
a
it's actually
flashlight,
good and worth getting into. Hold on. Let me. Speaking of FNAF, you might like this. So I can find it. Where was it? Is it here? Did I save it? No, did I not save it? Oh no, it's right here. Hold on. For all I know, you probably saw it already, but
watch this stupid thing.
Am I the only one who understands the complexities of this ambitious cinematic masterpiece? This movie isn't stupid! You're stupid.
Why do you insist we?
I don't know. I thought it was funny. I was like, what's wrong with not making these? Well, they're going. Now we're just looking at, pretty much it was just about Metroid. But yeah. Now we're moving on to Resident Evil, to RE9. Guy's kind of not saying much, honestly. He's saying a lot, but I also don't feel like he's saying all that much that we haven't. Wait, does he? IGN still asks her that Scott Cawthon's still involved in FNAF. That's what I figured too. They're still mad at him. He wrote it, didn't he? He wrote the second one. Like, or I saw the IMDb. It didn't have anybody else on there. Like, I think he has every right to write his own his fucking franchise. I don't know why people would be so pissy about that. Okay, let's hear about this guy going on about ray tracing again.
Where it's going to hit or where it's not going to hit. We have seen it in other games without ray tracing, but the fidelity that you can offer there, the fall off of light and the different ways in which you can reflect darkness and light and shadow, they're intrinsic to horror most of the time. It's why you don't see a lot of horror movies directly based in bright daylight. The idea of that and Resident Evil, honestly, their continued lineage of excellent titles. Capcom has nailed it pretty much every single time. They understand how to make a game. They understand.
I've only heard about some supposedly Leon, but I haven't heard anything else about leaks. I don't feel like they really said much about this. They just show Grace, and then they show what's her face, Eliza. I don't know. And then they show the voice actress for her because hey, she played Lady Domitrescu because they keep fucking shoving her down my throat or down everyone's throat.
And intrinsically how to make a Resident
like only for like if it's like what's it called? Like I said, if it's like 8, it's probably just gonna be this one small section with this monster, and everything else is gonna be something else.
An Evil game. Almost every single one of their titles has been excellent, and only a few.
I remember Barry Monsters are returning.
This is a series.
I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw Liquor.
That has had a continued lineage, and it's going to return to something 30 years ago. And then you look when the original came out, and you say, "Damn, life imitating art." And to me, that is fantastic. And hopefully, my life is even better when I get to play this because consistently they have nailed it. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Thumbs.
More degraded and older, allegedly. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. I'm not excited for the next entry, but I'm not doom. I'm not blackpilling on it. I hope it's good. I at least, but I don't. It'll probably be good, but I'll have no real desire to play it over again. Leftovers to survive missile strikes. I mean, I've never. It obviously they clearly want to ground it a lot more, and as opposed to the earlier titles where they're a bit more actiony. They were scary, but they also had leaned a little bit into that action, and maybe kind of unintentionally into the comedy with the voice acting or just how silly it is. And I kind of I don't know. I don't know where I feel about it. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like it. Well, there's still the Game Awards with the IMAX Air Dorito. Oh, that's right. And some other, I forgot what games are going to go at. Anyway, we watched this other guy's stuff before, the Kaza games. I saw the thumbnail, something about, I don't know, not getting Silent Hill or whatever the fuck. That if you're old enough, you know this rabbit hole. So let's see what this is about. I hope there's not an ad.
Help me!
Come on, Eileen.
Let me out of here!
There's something going on in this room.
Silent Hill is one of the oldest survival horror franchises out there, and it spans from the 1990s when the PS1 was the ultimate console, all the way to this very day in 2025. Over the course of decades, the franchise was handled by multiple studios and developers from different backgrounds in
I lost interest in these guys.
both Japan and the West, leading to the release of various games.
So Sorry, I was coughing really bad.
That bear the same name and concept, but still have their unique style that makes each one distinct. The last entry in the series is Silent Hill F, and it was released recently in September 2025, 3 years after it was revealed in 2022. The reception of this game by both reviewers and casual players was a little bit bizarre, because you can see people saying
It was
it's
gorgeous,
the
great
best
test.
Silent Hill game in the franchise, while on the other side, you can see someone claiming it's
Is this my review?
game they ever played.
Well, I'm gonna see what he has to say.
But beside these contrasting and personal judgments, there's a specific phrase that was mentioned all over the place and was used as an argument against the game by anyone who wants to shut down the debate. The phrase is, "It's not a Silent Hill game." And it was repeatedly present in so many comments on social media, videos on YouTube, and reviews on Steam. In their perspective, this was the ultimate issue with Silent Hill F, and it cannot be overlooked, regardless of how much the game excels in gameplay, story, and atmosphere. This begs the question, what the hell a Silent Hill game is, and what makes certain games qualify for the name, while
Actually has a connection to the town. Doesn't completely put its themes right in front of your face. Is a bit more subtle with its writing.
others don't. Well, to learn more about this phenomenon, we need first to understand when it started.
The first victim of Identity Witch Hunt. Was it 4?
For people who started playing or following the Silent Hill franchise after its revival recently, the idea of questioning a game's identity and its connection to Silent Hill might be something new, that's only relevant to the modern era. But in reality, this idea actually started more than 20 years ago, specifically in 2004 when Silent Hill 4 was released. In the early 2000s, Silent Hill was going through its golden age, especially after the surprising success of Silent Hill 2, not only financially, but also as a media that people wanted to learn about, even if they didn't play the game. When Silent Hill 3 saw the light later on in 2003, it was also praised for multiple reasons, including its disturbing story, its incredibly refined combat, and its direct connection to the original game. However, 1 year later in 2004, Silent Hill 4 came out suddenly from nowhere, and the release window was weird because it happened very fast after Silent Hill 3. This was a turning point in the franchise's history, because Silent Hill 4 was different and unique. And frankly, that's exactly what led to its downfall. We already explained the game multiple times on the channel, but to keep it short, the story centers around a man named Henry, who lives in apartment room number 302 in Ashfield.
That's not the game. That's like someone else made that, like a fan made.
Which is a city located close to Silent Hill. Over time, Henry began to notice supernatural events in his place, and one day, he found himself stuck inside his apartment and unable to leave it. For some reason, he cannot open the door due to heavy chains all over it, but he can still see from the peephole and hear the sounds outside.
Well, right here, hold on. Where was it? This.
Lives in apartment room number
Was it? It looks a little weird.
In Ashfield, which is a city located close to Silent Hill. Over time, Henry began to notice supernatural events in his place, and one day, he found himself stuck inside his apartment and unable to leave it. For some reason, he cannot open the door due to heavy chains all over it, but he can still see from the peephole and hear the sounds outside, including his neighbors talking to each other.
Everything looks pretty normal to me.
Oh, hey, it's that jackass.
Who lives here? What's he like anyway?
A few days later, Henry made another shocking discovery when he found a mysterious hole on his bathroom's wall, which eventually turned out to be a portal to a nightmarish alternate reality. In this world, he met several people who seem normal, but they will end up getting killed at some point, and each one of them has a spooky number on their body. The scary part is that all these people were already dead in the real world, and they were killed by a serial killer named Walter Sullivan, a man who is obsessed with Room 302, the same place where Henry lives.
Go ahead.
Walter has a tragic history as a child, because after his birth, he was abandoned.
Go ahead, say it. Doesn't matter. Don't bug me.
By his parents in room 302, and he never saw them. Subsequently, he was taken to a hospital nearby before
Homecoming over 4. You know what? I could probably see that in terms of gameplay, because holy shit, 4's gameplay is fucking crazy. Like, I could barely get through half of it without a goddamn playthrough or a walkthrough.
Before he eventually ended up in an orphanage, where he spent his childhood.
But even then, when I was playing it, I was getting kind of frustrated. I can see where they were going. I consider it's the experimental part of Team Silent, but they were trying something new, and it just kind of fell flat.
And learned everything about the world.
Oddly enough, there are people who do say this is their favorite in the series, which alright, cool.
The problem is that this orphanage was run by the Order cult, and they were the primary source of education for Walter, meaning that his life was full of brainwashing. Walter had a...
Boom, there you go. There's your connection to Silent Hill. That's why it's called Silent Hill. That's all. It's not because of a stupid flower.
Strong obsession with reuniting with his mother, and he was convinced that room 302 is related to her, and he will find her there sooner or later.
God, that was annoying.
As a result, the cult somehow made him believe that the only way to meet his mother is by fulfilling a ritual called 21 Sacraments, which can only be completed by killing 21 specific people.
But there's only one Sacramento. They're like, no, sacraments. It's Walter, not Sacramento.
Long story short, Walter became a ruthless serial killer, and he succeeded in taking the lives of multiple people in the town before he got arrested and died in prison. But this did not end his mission, because even after his death, he was still targeting innocent people as a ghost, and he was creating pure horror in the other worlds. Henry is actually one of the people that Walter is supposed to kill to fulfill the ritual. And this is why your journey is all about exploring the terrifying otherworlds, escaping from Walter, and finding a way.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the guy had. There's not much else there. It's like, So, yeah, we're kind of done with that. Like I said, I hope it's good.
Way to stop him. Despite Walter being arguably the best antagonist in Silent Hill's history, and the story being incredibly intriguing, players in 2004 were not really happy with the game. They had many criticisms involving the clunky combat and gameplay mechanics, but their biggest issue...
None about the sound design?
...was that the experience...
Some of those enemy sounds were just silly.
...doesn't feel...
Wait, let's be here. Silent Hill 4 feels like to be its own game, not a Silent Hill game.
Like a Silent Hill game. Yes, you heard it right. Back in the day, Silent Hill 4 had a serious problem trying to prove its identity to many players, especially when we're talking about the hardcore loyal fans. The main reason behind their opposition was the setting and the environment, because Silent Hill 4 is the first game in the franchise where you never go to the town of Silent Hill, even though there's references to it and characters related to its story. People did
I know of him, yeah.
Not like the fact that you cannot
I've probably seen some of his videos, I just don't know which ones they were.
Explore it at any point, and you will not be able to experience the iconic fog. And believe it or not, despite the creative spooky concept of being stuck in a room, many players did not
it's that stuff I didn't get to see in my game because mine didn't really work all that well.
Enjoy the first-person experience that you have inside.
Silent Hill retrospective.
First-person horror was not very common, and it was hard for gamers to adapt to such a new feeling, especially since it was never used in any Silent Hill game before.
I'll have to check him out. Yeah, I didn't see that either.
In their eyes, it felt like the developers were trying to move away from the traditional formula, leading some of them to believe that the town of Silent Hill will not be relevant again. And the franchise is headed to a completely new vision.
I never saw that either.
Silent Hill 4 to be a financial flop. And it was
after this one
series to receive backlash from fans because according to them,
how long is this?
It simply
Holy
did
shit,
not
this will be like almost 30
feel
minutes.
a real Silent Hill game. The failure was so impactful that even the
Oh,
Japanese studio behind the entire franchise was disbanded by Konami. But the real question
Of
is,
course it was.
did the attitude of fans change later on, or did they keep using this argument over and over? Well, you probably know the answer.
The curse intensifies with Western developers.
In 2008, Silent Hill Homecoming was released, and it was the first mainline entry that was made by Western developers instead of Team Silent. This time, the story is about Alex Shepard, a supposed soldier who came back to his hometown of Shepherd's Glen, only to find his brother missing, and the family is not the same at all.
They're skipping over Origins.
The
they
town
did,
is
didn't they?
corrupted by the other world, and this was the result of a broken agreement between its four founding families and the cult of Silent Hill. This agreement required the families, Bartlett, Fitch, Holloway, and Shepard, to sacrifice one of their children every 50 years.
This was actually kind of interesting, I'll be honest, in terms of story.
To ensure the town's safety. But
I just feel like they also kind of... How do I put it? I think you kind of got it right, Cap, when you said it was like the Resident Evil 4 of Silent Hill, and I think that's kind of the problem. Because Silent Hill and Resident Evil are completely... It's apples or oranges. You know, they're completely different in how they approach their horror, sense of horror. You know, Resident Evil is more direct in its types of shooting and basically just shoot whatever the hell to kill your certain things. You don't really have to understand the monsters to get them, to really understand the true horror of them. With Silent Hill, it is, I don't want to say it's like a connoisseur's game because that sounds so fucking pretentious, but how the way people speak, the story, every monster has a significance. And I think that's where it kind of fell flat. It kind of feels like Homecoming tried to take a lot of inspirations from a lot of things. Even dare I say Mass Effect with that whole choice system, although it didn't really do much. They could have cut that out and I probably would have been a lot better. But the games themselves was not one of them. Or at least it was very small. Maybe the movies more than the actual games. Or they didn't play the games enough to truly capture the essence of Silent Hill. I think this game could use a really good remake because this game has a very good story in terms of these people who break off from Silent Hill to start their own little town. And this is the only way they can actually really break away from Silent Hill is to have these little sacrificing their children. There's a lot of story there. I probably would have had him actually being a soldier as well. You know, really having this resentment toward his father, but wanting to prove to himself too, like going into the military, and honestly, him coming back from Iraq. Come on, what kind of the fucking monsters you could make with that? That would be so fucking cool. I would love to see that. I kind of wish, that's kind of like what Silent Hill F I said, like, if you really want to focus on something, focus on the father. Maybe he was a World War II vet. And, you know, back then, especially Japanese soldiers, when they came back alive after World War II, they were kind of treated almost similar to Vietnam vets. They were not treated very well. Maybe he's disgraced. He has this resentment and everything. There is so many things to explore on this. Also, documentary explores Homecoming explores everything that was supposed to be in Homecoming. But yeah, they condensed a lot of this. Like I'm gonna assume it was mostly on Konami's order to get this sucker out as fast as possible because if anything, right? It shows that Konami does not understand this franchise. If there's one person, they care about it in terms of a financial reason, but in creative wise, they don't care. This is the same company that made pachinko machines out of Silent Hill. But they want that just boom, boom, boom. They want it as done as fast as possible as well. I honestly, it's surprising. It's almost shocking how Silent Hill 2 kind of stayed, how kind of at least was as good as it was. But honestly, look, I could go a little bit further. If honestly, holy shit, this is long. We'll give like a few more minutes. If honestly, if there's nothing all that interesting, well, I'll scrap it and we'll go to Nocturne.
If they fail to do so, the town goes into oblivion. From this point, Alex starts a horrifying quest in which he witnesses the brutal deaths of the leaders of...
Also, take out Pyramid Head. He has no purpose in this. Even, dare I say, make a new monster. Or make, like, the dad, like, a personification. Like, a monster based around the dad or something. I don't know.
These found in families and manifestations of their immense guilt for sacrificing their children. The game has a complicated plot, and there are multiple surprises along the way, including the fact that Alex is not really the guy he thinks he is, and he actually has a role in the tragic fate of his brother.
Wrigley Pyramid was supposed to have a bigger role in Homecoming. I don't think I like that at all.
But even though on paper, Homecoming seems like it goes back to the roots and uses the same themes of the successful Silent Hill games,
But
people
Tom Hewlett
still
fought
had
to get
so
him
much
out.
criticism for it. For example, they were very upset about the game's heavy focus on action and combat, and how the protagonist has advanced fighting abilities like dodges and melee combos.
I mean, you kind of have to do that, especially if it's like, as aggressive as these monsters are. You have to... I know it's kind of difficult to have a balance between actually making these characters imposing and scared and not frustratingly annoying. So, I mean, if they just refined this combat system, it would have been a lot better. Because even then, if you watched my gameplay, I was just completely walking past the enemies. And even then, that was kind of a pain in the ass. It's not as... And yet, oddly enough, it was a lot easier than, say, freaking Silent Hill F, where the fucking monster just zones in on you.
This was seen as a major departure from the survival horror foundation of the series, where the characters were often vulnerable and encouraged to flee or evade rather than fight. But at the same time, many critics also found the combat system itself to be repetitive and unsatisfying.
I would also argue on the fact that Alex, while we know he's not a soldier, part of me wants to feel like his dad might have taught him something, or he might have emulated something. Or again, you could have just went with him, he was a soldier, so he has some combat training with a knife and whatnot. Or even then, even if his dad had some resentment, he probably trained him in something and how to fight.
With some calling it a poor imitation of games like Resident Evil 4.
Oh.
Furthermore, they didn't like the monsters, the shallow symbolism behind their designs, and the contradictions in the story. The horror in the game was seen as too obvious and too predictable. Because
Yeah, we didn't need these jump scares. That's just silly.
it's not hidden well and it's always in your face, which is a far cry from the psychological horror that defined the originals. Not only that, but even the puzzles were criticized for being too simple and less sophisticated than the traditional complex thematic puzzles of previous titles. In other words, for many longtime fans, Homecoming was not a real Silent Hill game, and it was only an attempt from Western developers to compete in the action market, during a time when action horror games like Resident Evil and Dead Space were thriving.
Why did you put the remake there? And well, I mean, you can understand Dead Space. One, you could have put Resident Evil 5, and even then, that one got some criticisms. Despite, at the time, I think it still is, the highest selling Resident Evil title. Rawr. No. There you go.
1 year later, in 2009, Shattered Memories was released.
I didn't mind
Which is
this
a
game.
reimagining of the original game that was supposed to reshape the...
But yeah, I didn't. But also, I understand a lot of criticisms with this game, but I was okay with it.
events instead of copying them directly. Once again, you play as Harry Mason, a father searching for his missing daughter, Cheryl. after a car crash in the town of Silent Hill. As usual, he must explore the town, fend off terrifying manifestations, and decipher the mysterious events unfolding around him. However, the developers did not want the game to be very similar to the source material, and they wanted to add their
Which honestly, in retrospect, would seem like massive blasphemy.
unique touch that makes it stand out. This led
Unless they thought, hey, this is going to be like our ultimate universe in that sense, but even then.
them to make the experience more psychological, and to do so, they decided to remove combat, meaning that you literally cannot
Hated that.
fight at all. Instead, when enemies appear, the world somehow turns into a frozen nightmare, and you must run, hide, and escape.
Also seems kind of lazy too. Just dump all those enemies from the original.
And speaking of frozen, the snow and ice are actually a general theme in the game that were used as a replacement for the classic fog and
I'm gonna guess he's not gonna talk about the what this game was originally supposed to be, Cold Heart, which actually would have probably been more interesting than this.
rusty decay, two elements that define the original experience.
I think that's supposed to be
By
Dahlia.
now, you can probably guess where this is going, because even though Shattered Memories sold relatively well, many people in the shadows were having some problems with it. And the main problem is that the developers had so much creative liberty. The new ideas were not seen as innovations, but rather as distortions and deviations, pushing many fans to think that the game is too different from classic Silent Hill. The fact that combat is not present at all and the iconic fog is not flowing in the air did not make them impressed about the change, but instead it ended up making them scream.
Not a Silent
It's
Hill
not
game.
Silent Hill. The same energy was notable with Downpour in 2012, because at that time, many people were already expecting anything from Silent Hill to be.
I didn't hate Downpour. I guess that's my hot take. I thought it was fine. I thought they were trying. It was a step in the right direction. Not perfect, but I did enjoy it.
Bad by default, and they didn't have much patience for any mistakes. And to be fair, the games I mentioned so far did actually have so many flaws in their stories, mechanics, and combat. But what baffles me is that people were always questioning their identity as Silent Hill games. This made no sense, because how the heck we can have a clear definition of what a Silent Hill game is if the original developers themselves did not define it? Well, this is when the Silent Hill fanbase steps in, because back in the day, there were fans who had a clear idea of what it means, and these players are divided into two groups.
Alright. What is a Silent Hill game?
Following the release of Silent Hill in 1999 and the incredible success that it had, there were two groups of fans fascinated with specific elements that stood out in the experience and made the game seem special. The first group of gamers saw that the environment was the most important piece of the puzzle, because the town of Silent Hill was unique in every sense, and everything about it is a mystery.
I mean, I'm okay with it not necessarily taking place in the town, but it has to have a connection. Preferably a very strong connection. Even Homecoming, again, they were settlers from Silent Hill who moved to a different town, blah, blah, blah. Silent Hill 4, the antagonist, Walter, he was raised in an orphanage founded by the Order. So I'm okay with those types of connections. Silent Hill have with the flower, no, that's like way too, That's very thin, because even then, a lot of people aren't aware of the white dahlia flower or whatever it's called. No, the white Claudia flower.
On the surface, it appears silent and secluded, but at the same time, it feels alive and hostile, creating a contrast that shook the psychology of players, because it was scary in both peaceful moments.
Do you know Silent Hill Short Message? I know of it. Is that the mobile game, or is that the show, or whatever it is? I know of it. I've not seen it.
Ones. It was an amazing example of horror in the ordinary. The places you explore feel normal, but they are also twisted, making familiar spaces seem terrifying. The second element that defines the Silent Hill experience, according to these players,
It does something as cringy as the flower. Oh.
is the fog, which is very reasonable because the town without fog can never be the same. Even though it started as a mechanical limitation for players, the fog represented the ambiguity of the town, the line between reality and delusions, and the cover that hides horrors from your eyes. The third element is the psychology of the main character, because in Silent Hill games, the trauma and psyche of the protagonist can usually give you an idea of what to expect when it comes to monsters and manifestations you encounter, and whether they are profound or shallow. So based on these standards, storytelling must be ambiguous and symbolic rather than straightforward, leaving room for interpretation and speculation, a practice that Silent Hill fans admire to the core. The fourth element they care about is the balance between action and narrative, meaning that combat should not be an objective, but rather a tool that players can use to bypass certain obstacles. This also means that exploration should be central, and atmosphere must be the priority, while fighting enemies is nothing more than a struggle that highlights the town's horrors.
I do like about Silent Hill, and I know other games probably do this too, but you always hear something kind of skittering around, even certain crashes and everything. But most of the time, you never actually see what it's doing. It's just all... It's all a bunch of weird sound that you feel like it's going to come and kill you, or the music itself. It makes a very good feel of tension. And I like that it does that.
From time to time. The last element on the list is the dreamlike nature of your journey. Silent Hill fans hate it when the game tells them what's real and what's not, because what made the whole thing enticing in the first place was the character's inability to understand if they are in a nightmare or real life, or whether it's a mix between the two.
Mary?
Now that I have explained the first definition that some fans use, it's worth mentioning that there's another group of gamers that disagree a little bit, and their definition is more radical and narrow. These people believe that all the elements I stated are definitely essential in a Silent Hill experience, but they also believe that the cult is equally important. According to their logic, it makes no sense for the town to be scary and mysterious.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit. Or some relation to the cult. But what does that say about 2?
Without highlighting the biggest force behind its supernatural power, which is the disturbing activities of the Order cult. In the original game, the cult sees the town as holy ground, and their rituals, sacrifices, and drug operations are tied directly to controlling the town and its people. Because of this, the cult's actions and the town's otherworldly shifts are deeply interconnected, and in theory, you can't separate one from the other.
I wish only for the salvation of mankind. But for that to happen, the world must first be remade.
In summary, many fans do actually have a clear idea of what a Silent Hill game is in their mind. But the problem is that they don't really know what they want beyond these borders, and their standards are not always consistent. For example, Silent Hill 2 doesn't have any direct connection to the original game, and the cult is not relevant at any point. It's basically a standalone journey showcasing new characters from a completely different perspective. But even with this fresh vision, people still loved it, and they didn't mind that it has its own story. Meanwhile, Silent Hill 4's story is deeply connected to the cult, and it centers around the consequences of events that are related to the original game and the third one. Yet people still had a tough time seeing it as a Silent Hill game.
But I feel like a lot of that criticism is because of the gameplay and the cult, and some of those puzzles can be really fucking cryptic.
It's proof that the players can sometimes turn a blind eye to the creative liberty of developers, as long as they provide a worthy replacement to the traditional formula. This leads us to Silent Hill F. Can we really say it's a Silent Hill game, or is it too different to be in the club?
Silent Hill F fit the series.
If we take the elements that I mentioned earlier into account, we'll find that Silent Hill F goes hand in hand with some of them, while breaking far away from others. The most complicated component in the equation is obviously the setting, because
the town was not the problem. Honestly, I think the town was perfectly fine.
The game doesn't take place in the usual...
Again, you just need one small connection to the town itself.
Town of Silent Hill, and it's not even close. It takes you all the way from the United States to Japan. But at the same time, the vibes, atmosphere, and ambiguity are equally powerful and feel familiar. So despite the fact that such a setting might not be what Silent Hill fans expected and wanted, in my opinion, it's really hard to see it as a negative. This Japanese environment is the best representation of a ghost town that I've seen in a long time. Not because it looks scary, but because it looks real and genuine. In the start, you see a very peaceful atmosphere. The sun is shining, the air is fresh, and the place is incredibly quiet.
And it also kind of like, all the scary stuff just kind of happens. It's like it's just this complete magical force, and it's never really felt like that's like when they all meet, like all the students, all the characters kind of meet and they're talking, and it just bad stuff just starts happening. I don't feel like the other games really do that. It's very slow, and it's like you only see like a monster there, but it's not. It feels too sudden compared to other titles. I think that's what I'm trying to say here.
Features that are very common in a rural area, especially in Japan. Even the fog's presence is genius, because initially you'll see it flowing slowly in the air, as if it's a natural phenomenon in the land. And if you didn't know that this is a Silent Hill game, you would not even notice that it's added for a deeper purpose. So, if I'm being honest and objective, the town and fog here are a masterpiece, and they succeed in forcing you to sense the Silent Hill vibe, even if it's in another country with different lore.
I agree, kind of.
When it comes to the psychology of the protagonist, this is when the game loses a bit of its charm. Not necessarily because the story is weak, but mostly...
I would say it's mostly because the story is weak and way too on the nose.
Due to the fact that the girl Hinako did not go through a uniquely disturbing experience compared to the older Silent Hill characters. Her trauma stems from bullying and social isolation at her school, heavy expectations from society, and abuse from her strict parents. She lives in a traditional town where she must follow certain rules as a girl, and her personal desires are often neglected and seen as worthless. Now make no mistake, these themes are definitely devastating and so serious. But just like...
There's no depth to them. Like I said, you really have no reason as to why the dad is the way he is, other than it's just the time. But no, I mean, again, like he most likely maybe could have been a World War II vet and was treated really badly. Maybe the only way his family was kind of brought with great dishonor, and the only way he could really truly bring any is to perhaps, I don't know, like the forced marriage, like the arranged marriage, where he does actually care about her and whatnot, and he uses her to maybe try to get some type of, I guess, some type of proper social status. So marrying her off to another person, she obviously doesn't want to do this. Maybe they have a really big spat. Maybe he gets so angry about it, he has a heart attack. She has guilt. Boom. Like, there's a lot of stuff you could have done here, but they made it just, I don't want to be married to, I don't want to get married. I don't want an arranged marriage, which is so archaic. Even during this time, during the time of this game, arranged marriages were being phased out anyway. They weren't as popular as they were. In fact, arranged marriages are only really common in South Asia, India, part Africa, and the Middle East. And we know they ain't freaking wagging their finger at those people. It's like, So what was this story for? I can understand about a story about, wanting to be independent and make your own decisions and whatnot. But it came off so anti-natalist, obviously, the whole thing about pregnancy and just bad about the patriarchy. Like, there's so much you could have done, but it was so on the nose with what it was trying to tell you.
Many people mentioned before, they're not...
And not to mention, like I've said this before, a lot of the character motivations and personalities only relegated to the journal. You didn't really talk to any of these people. At least you didn't have a really actual conversation with any of them or understand them. It's just... It felt like, with all that stuff, it just felt like homework while playing the game.
Really unusual or bizarre in the 1960s, let alone in a town like this. To help you understand what I mean, let me remind you that this is not the first time in Silent Hill where we play as a teenage girl, because it already happened 22 years ago with Heather Mason in Silent Hill 3.
My name is Heather.
However, the difference is that the themes that were used to amplify Heather's trauma and mental struggle are literally so...
Try to make this comparison and make it toward that Silent Hill 3 is far better. Heather is a far better female protagonist than Hanako, and you watch no one freaking argue about it because they will never touch this.
So extreme that they might even be too much for today's standards. The themes I'm talking about are unwanted pregnancy, the intimate exploitation of girls, and predators forcing themselves on female prey.
These are actual things that are still, sadly, very, very, very relevant, unfortunately. But they did it in such a better way than, again, the very hand-fisted way that F did it. Forced intimacy, basically the invasion of female spaces. Oh, I could fucking say something so fucked up and so really bad, it would piss people off, but I will keep about having women's spaces invaded. So I'll keep my mouth shut. Perfect theme doesn't automatically make it good. Exactly. Because the last time I mentioned any certain issues, apparently YouTube cut off my comment section.
I'm using a light language on purpose here, but I guess you get what I mean. For casual players, the stuff I just mentioned might not be very obvious in the game, but once you focus deeply on the details, you will see a horrifying story. For example, the monsters that Heather faces throughout her journey are based on these fears, and the most spine-chilling example is Slurper. This monster's design is pure horror, and it's basically a combination of a man and a lizard, with an elongated face that has a long tongue, seemingly for tasting his prey. He crawls on the ground like an absolute maniac, and he always attacks Heather from low positions. But the catch is that it's not random. Slurper's behavior is intended to symbolize violation, humiliation, and vulnerability, because he doesn't want to kill Heather, but rather take advantage of her body. In other words, when he touches her legs and pins her down to the ground, he's doing it on purpose, and it's mainly because he wants to access her body that he eagerly desires. This monster's existence is meant to highlight Heather's fear of being stalked by predatory men and being forcefully touched intimately, which might lead to a pregnancy that she doesn't want. You can watch my previous video about the monsters to get a bigger picture of what I want to say.
No, that's fine.
Anyway, after explaining this point, I don't want you to think that Silent Hill F's psychology and symbolism are not frightening or deeply profound in their own way. In fact, the monsters here are the very thing that drove me to read between the lines and be more curious to understand their purpose. They are arguably some of the most hostile and engaging creatures in the franchise so far, and you can't really avoid observing them because they're all over the place. You have feminine marionette-style enemies roaming the town back and forth, searching for you. blind beasts that can track your location
Hate these
based
fuckers
on your sound.
so
and
much.
Knife-wielding giants that release poisonous substances from their stomachs.
Mhm.
Each one has a distinct design that represents something more terrifying than you think. We'll make a video explaining the dark meanings behind their appearances, but for now, I can say that monsters in this game are far from being a weakness, and they are very relevant
But they're not very subtle.
to the Silent Hill formula.
Yeah, what that represents.
However, just when the game gives you something that you absolutely admire, it somehow misses the mark on the other side. Despite the monsters being an amazing challenge in the experience, the combat itself makes it hard for you to appreciate it. And this
I've said this before, the combat completely kills the horror element, and when you get that stupid little fox hand, horror evaporates. Like, even when I was getting used to it toward the end, it wasn't really scary. It was like, oh my god, I don't want to deal with these guys anymore.
This is why Silent Hill F has a small problem in balancing action with narrative. The game was marketed from the very beginning as an action horror game, and since monsters are
Because Souls game would have been too on the nose, I guess.
everywhere and the encounters are too many, it's clear that action was planned to be central. But sadly, the combat is designed to make these encounters so painful. You need to manage sanity, stamina, health, and weapon durability while delivering slow strikes that have a bizarre freeze during contact with the enemy. The animations are stiff, and the clunkiness is not justifiable, because the problem lies with the inconsistency between pressing the buttons.
Anyone saying this wasn't trying to be a Souls game is fucking coping. I'll say that right now. It's exactly what they were doing. They gave it a stamina bar. They gave it this little thing that I barely fucking cared about. Like, this. They put a lot of crap in there, and they didn't need to do that.
And the action on the screen. It's true that over time you get used to it and you begin to handle it better. But overall, it remains my least favorite aspect of the game, especially when the hard mode makes enemies seem more invincible.
I mean, the only well, I'm okay with Souls games. I mean, my favorite is still Bloodborne, and that. But yeah, but I don't want this in my Silent Hill. I don't need all that crap. My time is precious, damn it.
When it comes to the dreamlike aspect, Silent Hill F does a good job in this department, and the transition between reality and the other world is so seamless and smooth that you can barely notice when it will happen. So, if I'm being honest, the question of whether Silent Hill F is a real Silent Hill game or not can only be answered by you. Because the game has the foundation for an incredible experience and solid psychological horror, but their influence can differ from one player to another.
Not really talking much about the story.
And let's be real, if we keep questioning every new Silent
or subtlety, which I think is another big thing for Silent Hill games.
Hill game about its identity, then when the heck will this argument stop? Downpour took place in Silent Hill Town, and Shattered Memories was the epitome of psychological horror, yet they were both dealing with the same pushback that F is facing right now.
I mean, I would argue Downpour is a Silent Hill game. It's not the best. I think it was trying to get back into a return to form, but you can only do so much with a game like with, you know, after the clunkers they were following. For this, I mean, it's essentially a reimagining of one, which again is in and of itself blasphemy. It doesn't really capture the feeling or the essence that was of Silent Hill 1 with its connection to obviously what the story was telling with, you know, with Dahlia Gillespie and Alessa and the whole order. It was a completely different story in and of itself, and that was its biggest problem.
This makes you wonder, are the new Silent Hill...
But also it wasn't supposed to be that. It was supposed to be a completely different game.
Games doomed,
which I wish this guy would have actually talked about.
To be haunted by the golden era forever? Or can we finally accept that the franchise has to move forward and expand, just like Resident Evil did? Anyway, please like the...
For better or worse. But yeah, there you go. I mean, that's always going to be the big thing, is whether it's Silent Hill or not. That being, I really... I really would like the remake of 1 to be good. Like I've said, I think they probably should have started off with the first game, because it's only as deep as you that game is only as deep as you want it to be. Like, obviously, the more you play it, the more you start seeing everything for what it is. I just really hope they don't rush it just so they can get to the game they really want to remake, which is obviously 3. Because that's what they're doing. They're gonna remake 3. That's the one they absolutely want to get to. But only time will tell. Anyway, I think it's time to get to Nocturne. Let me fire that up. Is it not going? Oh, there we go. Cool. Pretty sure these are all the developers. Really try to get you in the action part of it, and some monsters, and actually I don't even know what I'm looking at half the time. Yep. I remember watching a black and white horror movie. I didn't see the whole thing. Alright, so hold on. Sorry. I forgot to put my controller on there. Alright, now we should go. Start the game. Yeah, it's got like 4 volumes. I don't know how long they are. It's like episodic. Dark Reign of the Vampire King. Oh, is it not going? God damn it. There we go.
Stranger, thank you for coming in on such short notice.
Hopefully it's not too dark for you.
The world is a dark place.
Who will protect the world from darkness?
We will.
Going? Okay, cool. Making sure all my controls work. I know there's other buttons that are going to be... I'm going to have to just use the keyboard, but I think this should all be perfectly fine. So, yeah. Biological and Wildlife Research Department. AKA Spookhouse. Think of them like the Men in Black, but for more paranormal shit.
I suppose I should tell you you'll have a partner on this mission.
A partner? Who?
Svetlana Lupescu. I know you really don't like her, stranger.
I don't like anyone. I hate monsters.
Charming. But hey, he's honest.
I wouldn't call her a monster. She's only half vampire.
Half is too much.
But it's that half of her that makes her so ideal for this assignment.
Yeah, but they're more on the This is more, Spookhouse is more for the
You put aside your personal feelings in the
killing
past, stranger.
them.
I trust you'll do the same now.
If she crosses me, she dies.
I'm sure she feels the same about you.
Killing them, containing any type of artifacts. Artifacts that really wouldn't do anything for us, like say, I don't think this really counts, but say there's a, in Buffy, the Buffyverse, Buffy Angel, there is this thing called the Gem of Amara. Completely useless to us, but for vampires, it makes them completely immune to sunlight and pretty much all their weaknesses. So technically, these guys would take that and essentially they would keep it. That's kind of it, but yeah. Think of it like the Men in Black, except more focused on supernatural beings. Well, werewolves, vampires, all that other stuff.
Nice to see you again, stranger. I look forward to working with you.
Have either of you ever heard of the Yathvogil stone?
The Yathgi?
When you've heard of it, I suspected you might.
Only through legend. It's the holy grail of the vampire world. The vampire who wields it is said to be immune to those things that would kill any other vampire. He can walk anywhere, even in sunlight, and strike down man or beast with a thought.
Yes, those are the legends. Some even suggest that the stone is the petrified heart of an ancient vampire. But legends aside, we think we've tracked down the artifact.
I always thought that it was just as much a myth as the Holy Grail.
What makes you think the Grail is a myth?
Yes, well, we think we might have found the Yathvogil stone. Our intelligence suggests that a castle in Germany by the name of Gaustadt was the last known location of the artifact. Rumors, of course, but reports of strange creatures and supernatural events have been becoming suspiciously more frequent over the past century. But whether the stone is there or not, something is drawing the supernatural to that mountain.
This is beginning to sound like a research assignment.
It's far more important than that. Your mission is to retrieve the artifact. We've surveyed the regions as best we can. Reports that have trickled out over the past 100 years indicate that the journey itself to the castle will be treacherous.
Why is it so important to retrieve this stone? No one here can utilize its full potential. I suspect that not even I would benefit from its powers, since my half-human blood gives me many of the benefits this stone is rumored to bestow.
As you know, our trophy hall is filled with weapons and artifacts of great power that would allow an individual to rule the world should he wield them properly. By keeping them here under lock and key, we can ensure that they never fall into the wrong hands.
Why not simply destroy them?
Some cannot be destroyed. We've tried. Others may prove useful to us in the future.
Always good to have some insurance.
Great war, we have weapons that would guarantee our victory against any odds. Returning to business, we've done some preliminary reconnaissance. Our operatives couldn't penetrate very deeply into the foothills. The entire area is crawling with werewolves.
I thought you killed all the werewolves in Germany.
We tried to find relatives or friends of anyone from the Gaustadt region. We couldn't find one person with any connection to the area. We do know that small villages in the area were inhabited as late as the 1850s, but since then, no one has had any first-hand contact with anyone there.
Oh, is that it? Okay.
All the information you need is on your desks, and your travel arrangements have been made. Good luck, and be careful.
Meet me at the elevator when you're ready to leave, stranger.
So apparently she was supposed to at some point get her own little game. Which, but I forgot, like, I guess they don't own Terminal Reality, at least at the time, didn't own Nocturne anymore, so that game eventually became the Blood Rain games. Which you could probably see because she's also, you know, half vampire as well.
I don't have to look up to know the stranger has just entered this room. Power of your thoughts precedes you, stranger.
Cut the crap, Hiram. I've known you long enough to know you can't read minds.
Technically, that is true. But you know, I can sense intense feelings. And you, my dear fellow, have the most intense aura I've ever encountered. It's obvious you have a new mission that you're not looking forward to. Though I can't imagine what objection you could have against any mission.
The Colonel assigned Svetlana as my partner.
Oh.
Yep. Come on. Obviously, the game's controls are a little rough around the edges. So I gotta be careful, especially if I'm going like downhill or something and I run. I can go a little too fast to where I just stumble off the cliff or something and hurt and take damage. Hello?
Stranger, can you come back later? As you can see, I'm extremely busy.
I have to leave on a mission soon.
I see. And you want to know if I have any goodies for you?
Oh.
What's the mission?
Werewolves and vampires.
Vampires? Svetlana just returned from her last mission. I don't suppose she's going on this mission with you, is she?
Yes.
Interesting.
He's so
well,
fucking
I've
mean.
got the standard Aqua Vampira that Hamilton Killian helped develop. Better than holy water, he always said. And I have a new item that I just finished. I haven't had time to field test it yet. Basically, it produces artificial sunlight. It takes a while to charge up, but when it does, it ought to fry any vampires, and at the very least, temporarily blind anything else. You'd better not accidentally shoot a team member with it, especially Svetlana. I wonder if this machine will even have an effect on a Dhampir. Either way, it might not be a good idea to use this if you and Svetlana are going to be in close proximity during the mission.
I'll take my chances.
If it happens, it happens.
Call it.
It's the Charged Radiance Emitter, or more colorfully, the Son of God.
Nice. Anything else?
Werewolves, huh? Where did you say you're going?
Germany.
I thought you killed all the...
What else do you have?
Sorry, stranger, just the standard silver bullets. I've been very busy. You're lucky I was able to finish the sun before your mission.
Yeah, all right. And they made another game with her as the protagonist. It's based around the Blair Witch series called Rust and Par. Is that it? All I get? Take them all. Which is, it's a lot similar to this, how this game is. Now I'm like, oh. Ooh, fighting a demon.
Greetings, stranger. What brings you to this room? Your fighting skills with weapons are unsurpassed. Have you come for me to teach you hand-to-hand techniques?
I already know all the hand-to-hand techniques I need. I prefer weapons.
Surely you did not come here for spiritual guidance.
No. I'm just checking the team's status.
Ah, very well. Moloch is an incredible training tool. His experience, strength, and skill make him the most worthy of opponents. He keeps Haystack on his toes. Haystack cannot just blindly punch. He must focus all concentration, all of his energy, spiritual and physical, when fighting Moloch. He must strategize at an intense rate. Moloch is stronger and faster than any other opponent Haystack has fought before. Years of training with Moloch, and Haystack has yet to land a punch. That is his ultimate goal. I think Moloch does this out of boredom, while he waits for his next assignment. However, his will is unsurpassed, and his patience immeasurable when it needs to be. I am interested to see...
That's some pretty good training, I guess.
...that finally connects with one of his punches. Moloch thinks it impossible. I, however, see the potential of the ex-boxer and know it will one day happen. Haystack already has amazing fighting technique and some knowledge of magic. Most important, he has the drive. Even after all these sessions without a single hit on Moloch, Haystack awaits the next session with enthusiasm. He never gets discouraged. That is why it will one day happen. I wonder if Moloch will show surprise on that first hit. I wonder if his demon heart is capable of such an emotion.
I feel like he'd be angry. I don't know. Seems like a demon doesn't like ever getting one-upped by a human. Hello, Haystack? Oh, he's gonna...
Stranger, I'm not used to seeing you here. I thought you did all of your training in the field.
I do.
So you just...
Such a charmer.
You dropped by for a visit, huh?
Yes.
Well, Ken's showing me a couple of new mental techniques to use in battle. His teachings have greatly helped me expand my fighting style and my spiritual prowess, as he calls it.
I hear you have a mission assignment. You and Svetlana are to find the Yatvo Gaol.
You hear a lot. It's a damn treasure hunt.
But the forests are supposedly overrun with werewolves once again. I would gladly join you if the Colonel did not fear human interaction on this mission.
Stranger, come and fight. I'll step out and you can take on Moloch. He's got to be the toughest bastard in the world. Even when he's holding back, I can barely last 5 minutes. I'd hate to fight against him when he isn't pulling his punches.
Yes, stranger. Let us spar.
I don't think you'd like the outcome.
All right. Let us know if you change your mind.
Well, he's confident. That's cool. Oh, that's not what it... Alright, let's go. What's this? Domestic Supernatural, Natural Defense, and Research League. Spookhouse. Oh, it's with a hyphen. Well, clearly just all the developers. Which I actually kind of like. The developers had fun. Alright, let's go. Off to Germany. Oh, it just doesn't show the loading screen. Alright. My display capture.
Watch out.
Wait. This one's not a monster.
Are you crazy? He just climbed out of a grave.
I'm telling you, he smells of life.
Who are you?
Sentinels! No, they're everywhere.
Sentinels? Who are these sentinels?
Huge, monstrous things. Hideous things that will devour you whole.
Come on, Svetlana. He's crazy.
I'm crazy. You come here of your own free will. You're crazy. You'll never escape.
You obviously escaped.
Yes, but I'm not crazy. I'm a genius. I hid in a coffin with my friend's corpse.
Oh.
And they buried him out here. I could escape. Ah, they found me.
What was that all about?
I'm not sure. He was totally mad. But one thing I am sure of. There are vampires here. I can smell them. Did you see the bite marks on his neck?
Yes.
Go, go, go. Oh, alright.
I can feel air coming from this crypt. It smells like fresh air. It might open into the town somewhere.
Can I open it? Oh, I need a key. Alright. Think I play like a little bit just to make sure the damn thing ran properly. Gotta be careful. Won't actually fall off or something. Can I save it? Just in case. 1. I don't really care. Alright. Ah, okay. Okay, where do I get my guns? Nothing?
I can't open this gate.
Oh, okay. Something there? Oh, alright, you... Cool, I don't have to waste my ammo. Key. Put away, 3 previously locked. What's this? Bullets, nice. Anything else? No. Alright, let's go to that crypt then. Ah. Yay. What?
I can't go on. We're nearing holy ground.
What?
We just tromped through an entire graveyard.
Yeah, what the hell?
Why stop now?
That little graveyard was never consecrated. It's not holy. But the ground here burns my skin. To go any further would be suicide.
Fine. I'll go on alone.
I'll find another way in.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and enter the village through the crypt. Try to open the front gate. In the meantime, I look for another way in.
Whoop. Oh, there's the music. Ah. Oh, I'm just behind me. No wonder. Like, where the hell happened? No, get off me. I can't. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Son of a bitch. Where the hell did he take me? Oh my god, did he... He took me past the wall. I don't think that was supposed to happen. Wow. Yeah, I think that was a mess up. I don't think he was supposed to clip me out of the wall and on the other side of this area. Yeah. Yeah, right there. Okay, that's fine. I think I can get back there. But that's weird. I don't know why. 1999. All right, give me minutes. Footnut, get out of the way. Can I not? Uh-oh. All right, let me... I think I gotta reload it. Oh, like... Pretty sure that wasn't supposed to happen, and I'll just save it from over there. All right, let's do it really fast. It's not gonna take that long. That's weird. I will chalk it up to just being an old-ass game. You can kill him. Thank you. Get the bullets. Ah, alright, just making sure how to change my ammo. And I'm gonna save it after this. Just so I don't have to do that crap again. Alright, let's do this again. Oh, wait. Just in case. Alright.
I can't go on. We're nearing holy ground.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, wait, skip cinematic. I don't care. We already saw it. Probably should have saved it here, actually. Alright, let's go. F. Probably shouldn't have wasted my silver bullets. Oh yeah, open the door for Svetlana. Right here? Yep. Alright, Svetlana. Svetlana. Jesus.
Excellent work.
Just pull the lever.
What in the world is this thing? I've never seen anything like it. Whoever summoned this beast must be very powerful.
There might be others like it.
Did you find any villagers?
Not one. They're either dead or hiding.
With monsters like this roaming the streets, I can't blame them.
I hear another one around here. There they are. I like how he just doesn't even look at the other one. He don't care. He's seen it all. Door is locked. You got this. See? They want to cramp your style. Anything around here? Doesn't look like... Oh, shit. That was bad. I think she's stuck. Come on, Svetlana. I already hurt myself. Come, no? Alright, hold on. Hold on. Right there. Go through here. There you go. Good job. Ah, there we go. Okay. That was actually, I like that little piano though. That was kind of cool. Okay, there's a door there. Let's just make sure nothing else is around here. Nothing? Something must be around here. What's this? Can't open it? Alright, I don't see anything. I think there's a stairs right there, but let me look around a bit more. Nothing there. You know this game's old when it doesn't have a... I don't think it has a 180 turn. Nope, nope, nope. Alright. Go downstairs. Ow. Aye. We going? There you go. Get it? Awesome. Good job, Sled Lotta. Nothing else here? It's like a... Oh, it's just a wall. That was like a piece of wood or something. Kind of looks like wood. What is this? Open something. This, Oh, huh? Hi. Hello.
Are you friend or foe?
We are not your enemy.
Well, then, greetings. Welcome to the fair village of Falkenberg, strangers. I am the village mayor. What might I call you?
I am Svetlana Lupescu.
Stranger is fine.
Very well. I have no idea how you found our little village. It matters not, I suppose. You should return now the way you came. You are both in terrible danger.
What? You mean these creatures? We can handle ourselves.
But don't you see? It is only a matter of time before an army of those things is sent to replace those you have slain. Please leave. It will benefit no one for 2 more people to suffer as our town suffers.
We didn't come this far to be dissuaded by one man's opinion. Tell us what you know and keep it brief. You can worry about our safety later.
Such a people person.
Evil has befallen us. You've seen some signs of that evil here. The oppression from Castle Gaustadt has become more and more severe since our people, settled in this valley after the bloody reign of Andronicus Comminus.
Andronicus? Andronicus ruled in the 12th century.
Impressive. You know our history well. Our people have been here a long time, and each year our village falls deeper into ruin. I feel we've only a few years left, and because of your actions today, we might have even less time.
Don't blame us.
Count Voiku's wrath will descend upon this innocent town when he learns his sentinels have been slain.
Slain?
Voiku?
He is the master of Castle Gaustadt, beyond the forest on the mountain that overlooks this valley.
Tell us about this Count. He is not a normal man, is he?
I say no.
What do you mean?
He's a vampire, is he not?
Well, yes. That is rumored to be so. Why would you suspect such a thing?
I can smell it. And there were bite marks on a man outside this village.
Also, there's a whole bunch of fucking, you know, monsters outside. I mean, don't seem that.
He was babbling, warning us about the
Yep,
sentinels.
yep.
Did he say anything else?
That's all.
How did he escape? The sentinels don't let us wander from town.
Apparently, he hid in a coffin with a corpse and was buried outside of town.
How clever. Well, at least one person has escaped the Count's iron grip. If that madman truly is a vampire, think of the horrors he must be inflicting upon our children.
Your children?
Over the past year, the Count has taken all of our daughters.
Good God.
For what vile purpose we can only guess. We tried to fight back, but the sentinels are too many and too strong.
Now that the sentinels are gone, we recommend that you flee the city.
Never. This is our home. We may die defending it, but we will not run like cowards. We are a proud people, and if we leave, our daughters will surely die. I will not ask you to involve yourselves in this horror, but it's obvious that you are capable voyeurs. If you offer your help, we will accept it. But we will not leave this town.
We'll discuss the matter with this Count Voiku. If we can't reason with him...
Put a bull in his head. There we go.
The humble village appreciates your help. I pray, for the sake of our town and our children, that you are successful.
You know, just... Alright. I think I remember, like, early screenshots of the first Blood Rain game where it actually did have, like, have Rain look a lot like her. Like a Svetlana. I think I remember, like in an old EGM issue. And I'm pretty sure they obviously couldn't use her, so they had to scrap it. Or they had to change it up to make her someone different. Alright, anything else around here? Any bullets? I'm guessing I have to use those silver bullets for the vampires when I come across those. There's a lot of stories about connecting this game to Blood Rain. Wanted to make Svetlana one of the Rain's half-siblings. See, I didn't hear that. I kind of thought they were just going to have the game star Svetlana. But honestly, I believe it. Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. 29 minutes. Body count 10. Press. Where's the any key? It's weird when it loads, it does that. I'm gonna save it. I still have to go kind of back and forth between controller and keyboard, but not too bad though. Let's see. Oh. This game is in A New Nightmare were one of my favorite RE clones. Really love the comic book and Pulp 5, both games were going for. Yeah, I do like this. I do like the idea of Spookhouse having his own little organization that essentially, you know, keeps all the paranormal monsters in check. And by that, I mostly mean kill them and take any of these artifacts. Oh, well, that thing's dead.
Look at this horse. Flesh torn from shattered bones.
Didn't even eat it. That's just wasteful.
The smell of werewolves is overwhelming. They are all around us.
Why don't they attack?
Surrounding us. They will attack soon enough.
Alright, let me get my bullets. Not a lot of silver bullets, but that'll work. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to waste those.
It's a vampire.
Staked through the heart. Just holding another stake? Why would a vampire carry a stake?
A civil war among the vampires?
There's a werewolf carcass over here. Must have been quite a fight.
I see you. Nope, wrong button. Oh, son of a bitch. I just saw him too. Where is he? Oh, I just keep going here? Where am I going? That's Svetlana. Well, it's got that Resident Evil style of where the hell... Can I go there? No? Yes? That's for sure. Oh, I thought it was following me again. No. Let's just go back, but it can't be right. Well, let's try it anyway. I meant to use my goggles to see where the hell I'm going. Didn't show anywhere. Or did I just go in a... Yeah, I went there already. Maybe to the left? Gotta eat for a moment. What's going on? Well, I got vampires around here. Or no, werewolves and vampires. Maybe a vampire civil war tier 2. Apparently they've been taking young girls, or like the villagers' daughters too. Or this vampire. Right now. And I know there's a werewolf around here. I just saw him a while ago. Did I shoot these fuckers? I hope not. Very oddly empty cabin. I'm gonna save it. That's right, I'm save scumming. I don't care. Did not mean to do that. Maybe like a save area? Oh. I gotta be careful here. I'm pretty sure I can fall off. In fact, yeah, I know I can fall off. Oh, can I not go that way? I guess not. Never mind. Where? This is probably going to be really dumb, but... Oh, it's just there. Okay. It's kind of hard to see. Gotta be really careful. Ah. Ugh, crap. Alright. Gotta be another way around here. Anything? Right here? No? No. Hmm. I can't go there, right? No. I go that way. And I can't go this way. Right? It's not let me. No. Oh! Okay. Yeah. All right, fine. All right, let me just try that again. I think I fell off too high from a too high of a platform. At least that's what I think happened. All right, let me try that again. See if I can. It's gotta be like something here, right? Let me see. Can I see? All right, try that one more time. I feel like I can get there. I just gotta find out where the hell does it. Especially if it lets me go that far. Yeah, alright. I gotta... I'm guessing that's not how I go there. I don't think I went here. Or is this where I came from? No. Wow. That actually would have hit me. Stop. I don't know how these physics work completely. That probably would have killed me automatically. I wouldn't have been surprised, honestly. More dead werewolves and vampires. Let's see. Anything? No. It's right here. Oh shit, there we go. Wow. Wow, I don't know what happened there. Oh, I'm an idiot. I kept pressing, I keep pressing the wrong button. That was my fault. I kept pressing the button for the night vision because I don't know why I keep thinking it's the shoot. That was my own stupid fault. Yeah, see? I was like, you want to help out, Svetlana, please? Ah, fuck. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, at least I kind of know where to go. So I'm getting there. No. Alright, I need silver bullets. No? Nothing? No. Alright, slow it down. There we go. What was it again? Oh. Nothing there. Or there. Weird camera angle, though. Ow. God damn it. I can't. Let's save it here. Come on, I know you're around here. I'll let you take care of them, because you can actually take them. Oof. I'll just let Svetlana do the heavy lifting for that. Thank God it auto walks onto them. Oh, doesn't show anything. Well, there's another one. Ow. Holy crap. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm probably gonna die. Yeah. Shit. Can she kick them all on? Oh, I guess I'm not gonna find that out. Another. I doubt this will do anything, but it's worth a shot. Nope. Just let her do it. Really? They're not gonna... Yeah, okay. So I think just shooting them at a distance is probably gonna have to do the best. Though it did kind of blind them. Now I gotta really stop pressing that button. God damn, they really like me. I don't think I have any items either. Well, okay, I was gonna say. Kind of go slowly. Hope they don't gang up on me. That stuff there, please. That was something. Ah, well, there's that guy. I don't think there's anything else around here. Oh, no, no, no. Right here. Damn it. Probably should have saved it. Or, yeah, saved it beforehand. Oh, shit. God damn it. I did not mean to you to do that. Ugh. Alright, there's a big one, too. Come on. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Do you have something? What is that? Oh, I thought it was like an item or something. No. Alright, just save it anyway. Yeah, I don't think he can get through. Yeah. Okay. Good. Might as well save it, even though I'm pretty sure one hit's gonna kill me. The hell? Okay, I don't know what killed me there. Oh, it's a hole. Okay, I see it. That was really hard to see. Can I go around it? Yes. Please don't fall in there, Svetlana. Yep. Oh, shit. Why'd you fall in there, too? Can I just go this way? Oh, wow. Okay, there's multiple pits. Okay. You can handle it. Please fall in the pit. 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 No? You can kill that one. Or not. I'll take it. I'll take the jank. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, nor that. Huh? Something was here. There you are. Let's save. Really gotta stop doing that. I am running out of bullets. In fact, can't imagine he's doing a lot either, but... yeah, they ain't gonna do shit. Yeah, just do it anyway. The run and hope they go for Svetlana first. There you go. Head or one? Can't see. Yeah, I'm gonna save scum. I don't care. I'm just gonna... Come on. Yep. Oh, they're behind us. Shit. God damn. Oh, shit. Damn. That was like one... No, it's just not, it's not capturing the loading screen for some reason. Like when I have to load in, when the game has to load, it just doesn't catch it. I don't know why. And I really should not have done that. Come on. Oh, they got me one shot, yeah. She gets to refill her health, I don't. Come on, I don't want to do this crap all day. Wow, okay. Damn it. Ugh. Oh, I don't have any more bullets. Fuck. Alright, well that seemed to kind of work. don't really want to use ordinary bullets because I don't think it's going to do shit, but... maybe I can get a better camera perspective. No? I cannot. Yeah, this game is pretty damn difficult right now. Mostly because I don't have any health. Damn it. Come on. Get him, Svetlana. For the love of God. Damn it. Ugh. Now you got him? Alright, that seems to be like the best strategy, is to run and let her handle them. They kind of ambush you right there. Or I can get smacked really super hard. Hmm. Damn it. Oh, thank God. No! No, 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 no. Get away. Get away. Catch him. 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 Thank you. God damn it. It took forever. Alright, so the regular bullets kind of work, just not a lot. Okay. But obviously silver is a lot better. And holy crap! And that one just fucking landed on me. Alright. Try one more time. Not go too far. Come on. Ugh. Mm. Is there any other way I can go, actually? No. No. That's... I guess I actually have to go that way. Yeah, okay. I can't push through them. I got one more other idea. Basically just run for it again. Back up. And then run. There we go. Okay. I'd say let's hope that doesn't happen again, but it'll probably happen again. Where are we going? I guess we'll go with that. Think. Well, something's in there. Anything? Anything useful? No. Was it just a trap move, Svetlana? There you go. Nothing. I think it was just a trap. Yeah. All right. Go down here then. Oh, bridge. I think. A rickety one.
This bridge doesn't look too safe. I think we should try to find another way across.
Save it. Okay, let's go another way across. Can we find him? Oh, cool.
Well, I can make that jump, but I doubt you can. Looks like you'll have to follow up this bridge. I will see you on the other side.
Show off. All right. We're at the bridge. Nope, 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 nope. God damn it, no. Have fun with that. What? Damn it, I fucked up. Idiot. No, 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 no. Keep running, keep running, keep going, keep going. Oh, come on. I think. Oh wait, I can jump too. I gotta remember that. Just haven't been using it. I'm kind of, you know, rushing to not get killed by this thing. Yeah, please fall in there. Oh. Run, 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 jump. Oh, well. Honestly, the game is giving illusions that it's crashing. I know, that's just the game itself. It's just because of it's on display capture, and for some reason it doesn't catch the loading screen. I don't know why it's doing that. I tried it on regular game capture, but it won't pick up on it. Okay. That I think. Well, first let me save it first. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, let me just save it anyway. It's been about 3.5 hours. I think that's a good place to stop for now. Well, actually, it's not technically the last day of my vacation because technically I'm off Sunday, but I got stuff, unfortunately. I gotta do a bunch of shopping tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of the end of my vacation. So I will be back on Friday, going back to my normal schedule. Hopefully, you enjoyed the streams. Yeah, I know. Hopefully you did enjoy the streams I got to do over the course of the week. I mean, if I was able to do this for a living, maybe that seems like a really optimal schedule. Sundays and Thursdays off. So yeah, I think like moving forward, I am going to try to do a little bit more, reactions and, looking at various, stuff around that's going online, maybe mostly, horror games and whatnot, but also, that stuff like with anything video game, because that seems to get a lot more engagement. And I do kind of like talking about it. Not so much, the political crap, but I do want to try doing a little bit of that more going forward. So, I'll still be playing games, obviously, but probably before like we did today, look at some videos and, then play a game. Because, I generally do a lot of, usually do like my streams do go about 3 or 4 hours. So, I think that'll work. I do want to keep doing more streaming and whatnot. And who knows, maybe we'll find some people who can actually try to engage with us in terms of, story discussion and whatnot. But yes, thanks, Cap, for always hanging out. I do appreciate it. And Torch for showing up, as well as anybody else who may have stopped by. I do appreciate it. But until next time, I've been Joe. I thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night.